and how they can also work out for you. So I'm sharing my screen. Just a minute, please. Let me know if you can already see my screen. You can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. You can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. Thank you, Luashe. Okay, thank you, everybody. So like I said, this session is going to be worth your while. It's going to be a blast. A session that will help you end the year strong, because this might be one of the few sessions that you have planned to show up for and attend for the year. So that's I'm really glad that you all are here today. So before we dive into the conversation, like I said, it's a very popular topic that you most likely have joined different sessions where it's been treated, but I'd just like us to take a look at it from another point of view, because again, at the end of the day, if we're not ticking every box, it will be very, very hard for us to get the desired result. So in the spirit of the festive period, the last week of the year, it's been a very, very great year. Let's speak positive, right? Even if it's not been a straight path, right? Even if it's not been straightforward and all of that, I believe it's still been a great year. So I would like you to type in the chat what you're most grateful for this year. Let's count our blessings. Let's not dwell on other things that are not blessings, right? Let's count our blessings. What are you most grateful for this year? By the way, I really want you all to engage with me in this session. I would like it to be as interactive as possible. Yes, we're here to learn so much here. Yes, we're here to gain so much that will help us start and launch 2026 with full force, right? But at the same time, I would like us to start easy, right? So I'll tell you what I'm grateful for this year. I'd like you to type what you're grateful for. I'll go first while you type, because I want to believe that some people have already started typing. So for me, this year, one thing I'm grateful for is the number of people that we've been able to help secure a job through the internship program at Amdari. A lot of people started their journey with Amdari this year, skeptical, right? Even Amdari starting the internship program at the end of the day. You can't be so sure, right? You just know that you have this passion to help professionals in the UK transition and land their first job, because it's a pain point you're familiar with. It's a journey you've been through yourself, right? And you know that one thing that makes it very difficult for people to land that job is experience, and nobody is willing to give that experience. But then again, you know that you have that capacity, the platform, and the resource to help people get this that no company is willing to give, except of course you come with that experience. But how are you going to get the experience if nobody's willing to hire you, right? So I'm grateful that we started this, and I'm grateful that it's been validated beyond just people saying, oh, this is something I've been looking for and all. More about them eventually getting the job, right? So that's one thing that I am grateful for. Anytime that news of somebody got a job comes in, it just makes every day worth it. Every time we show up, it makes it worth it. So that's why I'm like, even in the last week of the year, I would still show up. And I was just hoping that, I hope people have not closed totally. I hope people have not shut down totally for the year. And almost 60 people on the call right now and still counting. So trust me, let me do what Gen Zs do. So yes, Halima says, I'm grateful for my family. Without their support, I don't think I will be here. So I'm grateful for them. Amazing. Family is everything. I promise you, family is everything. Because for me, in addition to the great things that we've been able to achieve at Amdari, the second thing I'm grateful for is family. Most people see me every time, they're like, oh, mommy, despite what you have on your plate, you still show up looking happy. Like, you don't look moody at any time. Honestly, it's because of the people I have around me, right? You can't really be down because it's a very happy environment. So that I am grateful for. Oluwaseyi says, I'm grateful for life and the opportunity to develop myself more. Amazing. And we're really glad that you're here. I mean, I saw something online when somebody said, what did you achieve this year? And that person played, I don't know if everybody on this call knows this gospel singer, Tope Alabi. And that person played her song where, I can't remember the song right now, but the song was just like, being grateful for life. Like, I mean, I'm here, I'm alive. It was very funny. I had to repost that because that's the most important thing. We have life, we have health, right? I know we don't, take life for granted, but sometimes we forget that the fact that we're healthy, the fact that we're hale and hearty is also everything, right? Because sometimes we're just sometimes one sickness away from being broke, right? But we're grateful that we're not experiencing that. So that's something to be grateful for. Fumilola says, I'm grateful for the gift of life and grateful that I and my family migrated to the UK this year. Let me give you confetti for that. So amazing, amazing. So I think we'll close the gratitude here, but trust me, you can still keep it coming. I'll read it regardless, right? I just don't want to keep you all waiting on the call for too long because it's already great that you are here. And I want to make use of this 1 hour, 30 minutes of your time so much that you know that, yes, I am here and I gained something. I'm glad that I joined the session, and that's just what I want. So if you're just coming across Amdari and you're just joining us for the first time, please can you give me a thumbs up? The reason why I'm asking is we've showed up every Saturday this year. From January, from the very first Saturday, Oluwafunmi, Oluwase, first time Emmanuel, first time Henry, first time. Okay, thank you, Jennifer. Told me first time. Amazing. So the reason why I asked is because we've showed up every Saturday this year, and it's great to see that more people are still learning more about Amdari. That just tells us that we need to keep preaching the word, right, of what we're doing. Like I said, based on how far we've come this year and how much of impact we've made on professionals across the UK, US, and Canada, a lot of people have gone on to land jobs just by being on the call, just like you are today, right? So, as I said, I'm really glad that we're doing this and you all showed up. So, let me quickly introduce Amdari for the sake of those that said, I am just joining an Amdari session for the first time. Amdari is that platform that helps you gain real-world experience through internship. That experience that recruiters would not give you because they need you to have it first, right? That's exactly what Amdari is giving you. Thank you, Fumilola. That's exactly what you get at Amdari. We give you that experience, actual real teams, actual deadline, actual reporting, actual business problem, right? That's what actual workflow. That's what we give you so you can build the much needed experience that recruiters are looking for. Oh, we need somebody with experience working in the UK. Oh, we need somebody that has reference from a UK recruiter. Oh, we need, that's exactly what you get. And I'll break that down and let you know how that works out. So you can also start your 2026 strong, right, by taking advantage of what exactly Amdari has going on. So we currently focus on some of the most in-demand career paths and career paths that are future-proof, right? And the career paths are data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, SOC, ethical hacking, and GRC. These three are specializations under cybersecurity. So these are the career paths that we currently focus on. So if you've taken a course in any of these, give me a thumbs up. If you've not taken a course in any of these, give me a thumbs down. It's okay if what you've done is just a basic course on YouTube, or it's a course on Udemy, Coursera, or you actually took the course through a bootcamp. Okay, thank you, Laura. Laura says no. Michael, a lot of people are here to take courses. Emmanuel says yes. M says yes. Emmanuel, I see you. Wina, no. Micah, yes. Okay, keep it coming. So because it's an apprenticeship, because it's an internship, that's why it's important for you to have taken the course. But then even if you've not taken a course, I promise you the session is still going to be very, very helpful because this is a stage that you cannot skip in terms of landing a job. I call this stage a must-have stage, a must-have level. We often try to skip the level where we're supposed to gain experience and we just take a course and boom, we just start applying to jobs. You need to be job ready before you start applying to jobs, right? So that you don't feel like, oh, the system has defeated you before you even get started. That's what happens. You take a course, you start applying to jobs, you get a no, you get rejections, you feel defeated. But it's not the system defeating your knowledge or how smart you are. It's just how ready you are that is currently being defeated. So you need to be that person that is seen as worthy to be given that opportunity to contribute, right? Because at the end of the day, recruiters care about somebody who can contribute. So we'll get to all of that. But without wasting too much of your time, my name is Omawumi Victoria Samson. I am one of the co-founders at Amdari. I am also the Chief Technology and Business Officer right here at Amdari, with close to a decade experience working across sectors like the film tech, ed tech, and the marketing space. I've worked in the capacity of a software developer, I've worked in the capacity of a product manager and marketer, and I've also worked in the capacity of a business analyst. So in the last 1 year, through Amdari, I've been able to help over, let's say, close to 2,000 professionals transition into tech, and some of them have gone on to land jobs, including visa sponsorship jobs. So how exactly have we done this? How has Amdari played this for them, right? Is what I would also break down to you. So once again, thank you for joining us. And I would also like to quickly introduce one of the co-founders. Ipimena Ipro is a tech expert, worked across the ecosystem, has over 10 years experience in the space. He's also the co-founder of Amdari, like I said. He has worked as a data science contractor, worked as a business data support lead. He has worked as data analyst manager, global business systems analyst, etc. across the UK, US, and Canada. And he is currently based in Canada, right? And of course, he has also been able to impact over 2,000 professionals across the UK, US, and Canada. And they've gone on to land jobs, like I said earlier. How all of this has played out, you will find out. And last but not the least is another brain behind Amdari, Adeza Suleiman, who's a tech expert also, and similar experience, worked in data, worked in as a data science consultant, and he has worked across the UK, US, and Canada. And again, he has been able to impact over 2,000 professionals, and most of them have gone on to land jobs in the UK. So how exactly this has played out, I will definitely touch based on that. Now, before we dive into the conversation of the day, one thing I always love to say is we all have at some point, right? We all have at some point had to hire, whether you did it in the formal corporate way or not. You have had to give somebody and entrust them with a job. It can be a gig, it can be a contract, whatever the case, you have had to trust somebody to get the job done for you. So just a minute. So how exactly you've done this is what I would quickly, sorry please, I think my screen changed, so I'll quickly fix that. All right. So yes, I would fix that shortly. So yeah, as I was saying, right? So you've had to hire somebody or people at some point. Now, I would like you to give me a thumbs up or indicate if you hired somebody at some point. And here's the quick question, right? All right, thank you very much, Wina. You need somebody right now to live in your home and care for something very important, something very dear to your heart. It can be your kids, it can be any other thing, but you need somebody to care for something important in your home, right? Now, let's take a nanny, for example. Now, you get a nanny, right? And what they have to do is, of course, to care for your kids. Now, a nanny comes to you, no body to vouch for them or anything, just the word of their mouth, and they say, oh, they've watched videos, oh, in fact, I have my own kids, it's something I can do, in fact, I've gone through training. I don't know if nannies go through trainings, right? But I'm just using this as an example. Oh, I've gone through trainings, I've done this, I've done that, and I promise you this is something I can definitely do, right? They tell you all of this, and there is no one you know that has worked with them, and you've never also seen them handle a real situation. You don't know what type of emotional intelligence they have in terms of handling kids, taking care of kids. You don't know their personality traits, right? It's just somebody random, a stranger, who says they are a nanny, right? They've done it before, and they just want you to trust that they can get it done for you. So you're like, okay, if that's the case, a lot of things is going on in your mind, right? A lot of things is going on in your mind. I would like to know right now, because now you are the sponsor. Now you are the person trying to hire this person, right? So I would like to ask, do you immediately get this person into your home? I'd like you to respond sincerely. Do you immediately get this person into your home? Do you immediately pay whatever fee they need in terms of maybe relocation? Now, the relocation can be from Nigeria to the US. It can be within the US. Or let's even say you are in Nigeria, living in Nigeria, and then this person is just coming from anywhere, maybe from a village or something. Do you immediately pay for them to come to Lagos? Let's imagine you stay in Lagos. You immediately pay for them to come to Lagos, stay in your home. Like, do you immediately trust them with that much? Or you just want to give them some form of trial first? How would you go about this? I'd like one person to unmute and tell me how exactly they would play this out, right? Just one person, let's hear you. How would you approach this, right? I'm not saying some people don't even anything works, right? But I'll just like to hear from your POV, right? From your own standpoint and perspective. Somebody just tells you, you don't know how they've handled anyone's kid before. You don't know. They might even say, oh, I'm a mom too, and all of that. But of course, saying you're that does not mean you can handle other people's kids perfectly. So let me hear from Victor. Hi, Victor. Hello, Victor.
Hello. Yeah, I was
Hi.
thinking whether we are more than one Victor. So,
No, it's you. All
okay.
right, go on, please.
Honestly, I will. It's a sensitive question. It's just starting from first principle. Before you would take somebody into your home, it's not even because it's not even the office now. We're talking about home. Before you
Yeah,
take somebody into your home, you really want to know who the person is. That is in and out,
exactly.
not just by word of mouth, not just because of
Exactly.
whatever you will present in the paper. It's either you have a way of doing a background check to really on your own go do that,
Okay.
or the person is able to give you, or you know people that know the person that can verify and say, oh, I know this person, I work with her, or she had been there and here and there and she's fine. So it's either of those three. You do background check, you have somebody that give you feedback, or you have other ways, but you really want to know who you want to bring into your home. Yeah, I think similar thing happens in a recruitment process. Yeah, we feel frustrated many times. We apply, we know we are qualified, but maybe in the eye of the employer, there's nothing tangible to show that you can do what you say you can do. So, and that is where the onions is, and maybe why some of us are trying to leverage on Amdari to see whether we can have, we know we can do it, but how do we prove that we can do it?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yeah. Halima says you conduct due diligence. Let me hear from one more person. I'm sorry, Irene and Oluwaseyi. So because Harry comes second on my screen, so I'll just quickly take Harry. But I promise you, you guys will still get to talk as we proceed, right? Just because of time, I can't take everybody. So let's hear from Harry. Harry, can you speak? Just unmute yourself. Hello, Harry. Harry, I'll move on to Irene. Okay, okay.
So
Hi.
yeah, I'm just getting you just called by name. I'm still wondering if I'm Dolly Harry. You were asking a question to speak about what exactly?
Did you get the question I asked, Harry?
No, I just came in and my system was on. Can you repeat the
Oh,
question?
okay, yeah. So the question was actually just pretty much around what I said earlier. Somebody just, comes to your home and says that they are a nanny. You're trying to hire a nanny, right? But you don't have any proof, or they rather don't have any proof aside saying, "Oh, I've watched videos," or "I really need this job." But then there is nobody that you know that has worked with them. You can't tell if they have empathy, if they you can't tell the behavioral attitude they would have, right? If they would be patient, kind, all of those traits. You would need somebody that would handle your kids to have kindness, etc. You can't tell. They can tell you they are all of that, but you need, because this person is coming into your home and nobody that you know has worked with them, and you've also never seen them handle a situation that looks similar to that. So how would you approach this? Would you just say, oh yeah, sure, you can move into my home? Maybe you're in Nigeria, they're coming to Lagos. You just, of course, because nannies, maybe they might stay with you, depends on the plan you want to go with, right? So how would you approach this in your own case right now? Because I'm trying to make sure that we also put ourselves in the shoes of the recruiter, right? Because again, like I said, we've all had to hire somebody at some point. We've all done it. And there is something we look out for. So yeah, do you get the question now?
Yeah, I do. Definitely quite good. But for me, I wouldn't want to hire anybody without experience. Be candid with you. Before I will hire, say, somebody like a nanny into my space to take care of, something very, very important, you have to undergo a certain amount, level of training before I will employ you into my space or something. So before I could employ somebody, you have to undergo a very critical training. And not just the training, you have to show that you are really qualified for a particular space or a job, whatever. I think, no, I wouldn't want to employ somebody who is not well experienced and can't show for it. Before I could employ somebody, you have to show for it that yes, this is what you can do, this is what you can deliver
Yeah.
before I go employ you to anything. Yeah, that's it
All
for
right.
me.
Thank you very, very much, Harry. That was a perfect response, just like Victor also, right? We want to see proof. We just don't take their word for it. There has to be some. I'm not saying you're lying. That's what we are all saying now. Victor is saying, I'm not saying you're lying, right? But I need to see something. Harry is also saying, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm not saying I don't, buy what you're saying. For me to be convinced, I need to see more. And Halima says due diligence has to be conducted. So if you as the recruiter is conducting your due diligence, that means you need to see more that will convince you beyond reasonable doubt that this person is the man for the job. So that's us putting ourselves in the shoes of the recruiters. So when we say we need sponsorship, we should think of it like this. This person is bringing you to work in their company, right? Whatever product they're selling, whatever it is. Yes, you cannot compare it to an actual human baby, but in figuratively, it's also like a baby, right? It's your product is your baby, your business is your baby, right? Figuratively now. So not compared to a real human baby, definitely. So that's how much that is also dear to you. And if you're going to entrust your business and certain responsibilities from that angle to somebody, you need to know that, okay, this person I can trust that they can get this done. Now, taking it a step further is sponsoring them because you're carrying certain costs. You're carrying the cost of legal compliance, you're carrying the cost of the relocation, you're carrying the cost of so many things, paperwork and everything, in addition to salary. So if you're going to be bearing this burden, you want that person to be showing, you want that person to show you that they're not a cost, but they are also somebody that will give you return on your investment. So when you see all this proof, it's easy for you to say, sure, because at the end of the day, sponsorship is not charity, right? It's a business decision. So if you're positioning as somebody looking for sponsorship as, oh, please, I need sponsorship. Oh, my visa is expiring soon. It is, how we will just position as though, oh, we need that help, right? When you position like that, you're not using a winning strategy. You're not even using a good strategy. Let's not even say winning, because winning is even like, you're not even using a good strategy, right? Because for them, it's also business decision. It's not something random. So the best way for you to see this and approach it is, for companies, the proper sequence that makes sense to them is low risk entry, proof, right? The same thing that Victor and Harry have said, proof and internal advocacy. Somebody, when Halima said due diligence, it's part of trying to see those that would say something, maybe review or something, or something, or some people that said something about you, right? So it can be internal advocacy or external advocacy, but some form of advocacy, and then sponsorship is easy as a result of that. Not when you just come as an unknown candidate, like the nanny. Oh, I promise you, I am good at this. I'm passionate about this. I'm a mom myself. I really need this job. I will deliver my all. Just give me a chance. It's high risk. Like, I can't. You get the point, right? It's risky. So that's it. When recruiters also see it as risky while trying to hire, they're not saying they don't trust that you can do it, right? So at the end of the day, unknown candidates and high cost commitments just makes no good business sense, right? It doesn't make wise business sense. So they start to like, I don't think it's worth it. Now, there is something I really, really would like us to take a look at. A lot of times when we need visa sponsorship jobs, by the way, Elizabeth, you asked the question, do we offer sponsorship in business analysis? No, what we offer is internship. And then in a way that makes you stand a chance to get a job or even sponsorship, because this has happened for our interns. We have an intern that got a visa sponsorship job this December. That's the most recent, right? So I'll show you all of that as we proceed. So very importantly, like I was saying, one thing we always do is, oh yeah, go to the job boards, there are visa sponsorship jobs there and all of that. And this is what's in every expert's playbook. They will tell you the same thing. Find companies that sponsor, right? You will check them out online. Oh, this platform, that platform. Apply only to roles that have sponsorship available, or pass the eligibility criteria, the sponsorship or the salary threshold rather, and make sure that your career path is under the sponsorship, under the skilled worker list, right? Or the list of career paths that are currently being sponsored for. It's not a bad advice, don't get me wrong, but it is not a winning strategy. It is not enough when you do all this, because at the end of the day, this is pretty much like an historical approach to getting it. There are better ways to stand a higher chance of getting, like you want your chances to be increased. So all of this is what you hear every time. So this session is about those parts that you don't hear. So I am highlighting this for you now to know that this session is not about finding the companies that sponsor. It's not about those roles that sponsor. It's not about passing the eligibility criteria. You've heard this over and over, right? And it doesn't always work. Like it doesn't always work because of certain reasons that I'll break down. So you feel sometimes, oh, if I meet the criteria, sponsorship should follow. It's not straightforward. It's like a maze, right? Because companies don't start with full trust. Just like Victor said when the analogy of the nanny was made, and Harry, right? And even in the comments by Halima, it's not that they don't trust you like immediately. They start with an observation. And that's why in that case of a nanny, maybe the best approach, you might eventually give them the job, or you would give somebody the job, right? But certain things need to make you convinced. So sometimes it's testing the waters with them. Observe them for a while, because talk is cheap and everybody's an expert in theory until it's time to actually get the job done, right? So the reason why all of those steps that I just listed, oh, check out for jobs that are companies that are sponsoring, oh, check out for jobs that are being sponsored for, pass all of the eligibility, those lists show you historical sponsorship, not current willingness. And why this is important is they might list all of that, but there is a lot that goes on internally, like manager level veto power, right? Internal headcount politics, a lot of things goes on, right? There are some people that can vouch for somebody that they know. Yes, they put out that open role on their job board and everything, but other things are going on within the company, and they can hire to fill that role that you see through other means. It can be by sponsoring somebody within the company already, or somebody through recommendation, etc. Right? So a lot goes on. So you cannot rely on what you see on the job board. If that's your only strategy to get sponsorship, your chances of getting sponsorship is slim. Right? So that's 99% of the advice you get from majority of the experts that tell you the different ways and approach. If you watch YouTube videos today, they would still tell you similar stuff, right? And it doesn't focus on the main thing that converts for you, right? Because sponsorship is not a job search outcome. It is an internal decision triggered by evidence. So that proof, at the end of it, we cannot escape that proof of work, right? So everything that I've said so far is just something that would, of course, can open the door for you. But a reason for someone to get through that door has to be through proof. There is more for you to, yes, the door is open, they are listening to you, but you have proof. Now you've applied to the job that we posted, blah, 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 and all that, but I don't see something that convinces me yet that you can get the job. So you can even see those jobs listed on job boards, vacancy for sponsorship. It's all valid, it's true. It's not even historical sponsorship, it's current, it's recent, and they've not filled the role and you've seen it. But then you go to meet them for interview. That's if you pass the CV stage, right? You meet them for interview, but then again, they don't call you back or they don't reach out to you, right? That's a major challenge. And why is that the case? Because you didn't show them enough proof during interview that you can contribute, that you're going to be a great addition to the team. All of this is going to discourage them. Elizabeth, the internship is for 4 months, right? It's for 4 months. I'll break it down as we proceed, right? Okay, I'll get to that also. Elizabeth, are you in a hurry? Okay, I think I have 2 Elizabeths on this call. So the 2 Elizabeths on the call are in a hurry. I am definitely going to address all the questions you have. Elizabeth Oluwasheo and Elizabeth Ajiboye. So companies do not sponsor talent, they sponsor reduced risk. The case of the nanny again, it's risky because you don't know her. It's less risky because somebody has worked with them. In fact, they were the ones that recommended them. Or maybe they were not recommended. But you found this person maybe through checking some websites or something, and there is enough proof and there are, evidence that this person can do the job. Or maybe you even gave them an opportunity to test the waters and see how they would work and all of that. And now you are convinced that, okay, yeah, sure, I think. So the minute they perceive reduced risk, they will find it easy to say, sure, right? So the fastest way for you to get in is not by blasting applications and believing that, oh, okay, yes, let me just pray and pray. Let me apply to 500 or 200 or 50 jobs or companies that are sponsoring this week. No, that's not enough. What's enough is for you to do more than that. Be more strategic in your approach. Show exactly how you can contribute. Because if I am hiring today in my company, I need somebody that can contribute. Let's say I say, oh, I'm a data science, I have a fintech company and I'm hiring. When I introduced myself, I didn't introduce myself as a cybersecurity professional. So what that means is if I say that I'm hiring a pen tester for my fintech platform, that means I need somebody that can contribute because I cannot help you. I don't know this field. This is not my domain. I am putting out this posting this vacancy because I need somebody that can help me in this aspect, in this domain. So if you're now telling me that, oh yes, I took some courses, I have watched videos. In fact, I just graduated from a training. You are not ready to help me. You're not ready to contribute because you will not have foresight. You're just getting started. You won't recognize certain patterns. That will be an indicator that either there is a problem or you should take this approach or that approach. So it's risky for my platform. And we're talking real people's data, real people's information, right? So I will not be willing to take that risk. Not that I don't trust that, you can do the job. Oh yeah, sure. Elizabeth says she can do this, she can do that, but she's not showing me proof that she can get it done, that she has done it elsewhere. So most people start with that list that I shared with us, check eligibility, apply, and wait. But the smart ones enter the system, prove value, build advocacy, and let eligibility be solved after. How this works is when you do internship. That's another a great way to build proof. Because remember what I said earlier, right? So the next cohort is starting on the 10th of January. That's in about 2 weeks' time, Elizabeth. So I would explain how you can enroll. We'll get to that shortly. I'll explain how you can enroll. So when you build proof, it's easy for you to get sponsorship. That's why our intern was able to land sponsorship. There is reference letter that comes from Amdari. That reference letter backs up your claim of work done, right? That reference letter is given to you and sent by a Femena Impro, one of the co-founders at Amdari. If they call, they get to speak to him, or they want to confirm that you worked here in this capacity, they get to speak to him. If it's a letterheaded reference letter that they need, we give it to them. If it's for us to fill a reference form, we give it to them. You have somebody backing up your claim, somebody that has trusted you with responsibility, right? Somebody that has trusted you, put you in teams. You had do you pay your interns? No, we don't, Elizabeth. No, we don't. The emoji is hilarious. So yes, so that's exactly how that works, right? So again, like I said, I would break down how this internship works. There is so much about this internship that you will find out as we proceed. So I'm just trying to answer some of Elizabeth's question because I know it will still be, important for you all. So how this all fits together is for you to enter the system. It doesn't matter if you worked with them or not. They just want to have proof that you are not a high risk if they hire you. So, somebody has trusted you before. You've done it somewhere before, etc. It's easy to trust that you can get the job done, right? So these are the different ways that you can actually be that professional that is seen as, okay, low risk, we can trust them, right? So sponsorship is often flexible rather, when you have proof of impact, not just proof of, And one thing I need to mention is most times we get carried away. They said I should build proof. They said I should have backup. Or maybe I should just work on some project. It's not just some project. It has to have business impact. That's what makes you stand out, right? So if you're not solving actual business problems and you're just working on passion projects, it is not enough. You need to solve business problems, right? So did you work on actual production size data or production platform, or actual live platform that is serving customers, and for a company that is generating revenue, EPS, it makes you easier. It makes you a better candidate because that's proof of work done, right? That's proof of impact made. Because every project you work on, and this internship at Amdari, for every project you work on, it's a story waiting to be told during an interview that you go for. Yes, the internship is purely remote. Micah, the internship is remote. So sponsorship is not free. That's why they also make it a very, very calculated approach. And you need to show them that you will be making them money or saving them money. And how can we trust that you will be able to do that? You've done it somewhere before. You've applied it somewhere before. So do not get obsessed about eligibility. and what you hear from the 99%, or what you see. If you open Google today and you search, what they'll tell you is the threshold, the eligibility criteria, the job being on the, all very valid. Do not get me wrong, but it is just not enough. There is some other things that you need to do that others are doing, which is proof. That's what gets you past people. So eligibility gets you past the immigration. Proof gets you past people, and these people are those that make sponsorship work, right? So they are the gatekeepers. So if the gatekeeper is saying that I need more than your eligibility status and all, who are we to say that they are wrong? Who are we to say Google said this? That's why I am coming to you today from the point of view of the recruiter. Now, I have a couple of things I'll be sharing with you, and I would like you to fill the form that my colleague is dropping in the chat, right? What I'll be sharing, and I'll show you a step of how you can be strategic with the list of companies that are sponsoring. I said something earlier. I said the advice you hear from the 99% of experts is check job boards, apply via job boards, etc. Look at companies that are sponsoring. And I said it is not a bad advice, but it is not enough. There are other things that you can do that would make you stand a higher chance of getting the job. And I'll show us that step on this call today. Now, that means I'll be sending you a list of companies that are sponsoring over 130K plus, 130K plus, over 130K plus. And it is the most recent and updated one. It was last updated on the 22nd of this month, December. I'll send you this list, and there is a strategy for you to use in applying to those companies, right? It is not just by applying. I promise you there is a strategy I'll show us right now. So in addition to that, so please make sure you fill the form, because we would send you this list via email first thing tomorrow morning. First thing tomorrow morning, you'll be receiving an email from Amdari, and it is going to carry that particular list of companies sponsoring. And I would love you to do what I will show you on the call today, right? So please stay with me, stick around. Do not get bored. Do not get bored. If you're bored, get popcorn, take water, whatever your favorite drink is, please get it by the side and stick around, like I said, because I'm not going to waste your time. So one of the key things for you to bear in mind is these gatekeepers are saying, yeah, sure, but it's not enough. So if they're saying, yes, sure, but it's not enough, then what is that extra that they need? If you get past every other system, the ATS and all that, you get to the next level. It can be the assessment test. It can be the first introductory interview. There are certain things they want to know and hear. And if they don't hear it, they would leave, right? They won't, of course, come back. And that becomes, oh, I was ghosted. Now, when it comes to what you say, there are certain signals that you pass. You might not know this. It is indirect. You don't know that you're passing that signal, but you are. And if you don't have experience, there is no way you can pass the right signal that will make them know that you have the job. Let me repeat that. If you don't have experience, if you don't have proof of work, if you don't have exposure, you cannot pass the signal that they want to see. The signal that says you're job ready, the signal that says you're exposed, the signal that says you are ready to contribute. You cannot pass it if you are not experienced. You can say every right thing, but like I said, signal is what makes them know that you are ready. And these people are not stupid. They are recruiters for a reason. So they can hear all of those things and they can tell that, okay, this person is not job ready yet. This person does not have experience. Here's an example of one of our interns that landed a job, right? Like I said earlier, working on random passion projects or hobby or anything like is not enough. What helps you really is to show that you really contributed. An actual organization trusted you and trusted certain responsibilities to you, right? And you either saved money, gave insight that helped them make better decisions, or you made them money, or the impact of your work resulted in helping them scale, helping them advance, helping them just achieve something, right? That equals something great, maybe awareness-wise for the company, maybe launch-wise for a product. Your effort contributed to something that means impact, that means pain points, right? That's a language that any recruiter can hear and understand. You know, it's okay if I don't run a fintech company, but oh, the only experience Oluseyi has is working with fintech companies. The minute Oluseyi speaks in pain point, I would understand regardless of my industry as a recruiter. He's currently speaking about saving money for the company by working with maybe this data set or protecting the platform by performing some pen testing and creating a report and sending it to the company so that they know areas that the platform is vulnerable, etc. You are speaking in a language that I can easily understand, right? And I can tell that you know your stuff, right? So it's easy for me to now hear those signals by virtue of how you're explaining all of the things you've done before. So how Pedro landed a visa sponsorship job in the UK, like I said, this is the most recent visa sponsorship great news that we got at Amdari, and that was just this month. I think first week in December, right? And he sent this message to his team lead. His team lead's name is Victoria. Now, how the internship program at Amdari works, I would explain. For every intern, you have a team lead. You don't work alone. You don't work in isolation. This is not your regular internship. This is an actual work experience. You work in a team. It's not the type of internship that you know or you hear where they would have a platform, you watch videos, and they'll tell you, oh, so it's a simulation. You imagine your team into the picture. Let's say you're a project manager. You come in for the internship, and again, not how Amdari runs it, but just the typical. So you are in for project management internship, you watch a video online, a company is telling you that, oh, there is this project you have to work on with a team, so you need a project, you need a product designer, so it's an IT project, you need a product designer, you need a developer, etc. But guess what? There is no team for you to work with. So that means you have to imagine your product designer into the picture. You have to imagine your developer into the picture. You have to imagine your team into the, how is that work experience? How is that internship? That is not exposure, right? How will that person not end up using ChatGPT to bring the part of these people into the picture, because that's not their job, or they actually do not have this team to work with. But that's where Amdari is different. You don't work alone at any point throughout your 4 months internship at Amdari. You work in a team, you work with people, right? Now, you also have a team lead. Now, your team lead is not a fellow intern. Your team lead is a specialist in your field, right? With nothing less than 5 years experience working in that domain. So if you're coming as a cybersecurity specialist under SOC analysis, that's security operations center, right? If you're coming in as that, your team lead is a SOC analyst, not a GRC analyst, not a pen tester or cybersecurity generalist. No, your team lead is a SOC analyst, a specialist in that space. If you're coming in under cybersecurity as GRC analyst, your team lead is a GRC analyst. If you're coming in for pen testing, your team lead is a pen tester. If you're coming in for data analytics, your team lead is a data analyst. If it's project manager, your team lead is a project manager, not a business analyst that knows project management somehow. No, because the company they used to work, somebody gave them responsibilities of a project manager, so automatically, oh, I used to do project management. No, that's not the case. You actually work with a proper project manager who has been in the space and worked as a project manager the entire time, right? So that's exactly what you do. So now this is a message from Pedro. He sends it to his team lead, Victoria. He says, hello, Victoria, hope your day went well. I received an offer today. Thanks for all your support and encouragement. Of course, she goes on to congratulate him. And she says, hope the pay is great and you are good with the offer. And he says, yes, 36% more comes with visa sponsorship too. And then he goes on to say, thanks, I am just grateful to God, the internship opportunity with Amdari, your support. And then he says, my friends are signing up for the cohort. It really is a great experience. Now, if somebody is not invested in your growth, committed to your success, I don't think you would share a good news with them. So this is to tell you the relationship that our interns have with their teammates. Most times people would ask me, oh, Omomi, after the internship, what happens next? Is that all? What if I don't get a job within that space? You have access to your team lead. One thing I'd like to mention is our interns get jobs 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in. Why is that the case? Because by your 2nd month, you've worked on about 3 to 4 projects. Because each project you work on at Amdari takes 2 to 3 weeks of execution period. So the deadline or timeline is always 2 to 3 weeks. So by week 5, you've worked on 2 projects. That means if you solved 2 business problems by week 5, it's already it's good enough for you to have something updated on your CV. So that's why we revamp your CV and optimize your LinkedIn by week 5. And by week 6, we start encouraging you to apply to jobs. Now, we don't stop there. we make sure that we also become your accountability partner. Why is that the case? We realize that a lot of the interns that we have at Amdari, by the way, we don't call our interns, we call them consultants. You're working on different business challenges. I said you're coming into this internship for 4 months. If you're coming in for 4 months, that automatically means what? It means that you have 4 months to work on projects. So does that mean you're working on just one project? No. You're working on 5 to 6 projects, because remember what I said, you have 2 to 3 weeks timeline for each project. So you'll be able to cover 5 to 6 by the end of your 4 months. So this 5 to 6 means different business problems, 5 to 6 different industries, 5 to 6 different companies, right? And these business problems are actual business problems. They are, like I said, and you work with an actual team throughout your internship. You don't work alone or in isolation, right? So by the time you've worked on 2 projects, by week 5, we revamp your CV, and then we make sure that we optimize your LinkedIn, and we encourage you to start applying to jobs. And your team leads are invested in this. Your team leads are not volunteer mentors. No, they are here full-time for the purpose of this. So their KPI is tied to your success. So you can already imagine how invested they would be. Oh, my intern got a job. It's something that's their goal also. So they are invested in that. That's why you see that. In fact, you see a couple of other testimonials that we've received, and it's just because our interns just share it. Oh, by the way, I got a job. Oh, thank you for that interview prep. Guess what? I got the job actually. You share the news because this person contributed to that which made you land the job. So of course you want to share it, right? So when people ask me a question, oh, what's the success rate of people that get jobs in this program? I'll tell them that Amdari gives you 99% of what you need to land the job. What makes you that candidate that qualifies? The remaining 1% is what we cannot control, right? It's what we cannot influence or control. And that's why, for you to know that we try as much as possible to make sure that we influence a lot in our capacity and as our power can also take. That's why we make sure that we do job application sprint, meaning we would be with you on the call as you apply to jobs. Because I promise you, the minute we have people join the program, they don't apply to jobs as often, and they'll be telling you, it's my job, I'm very busy, my work does not allow me. We forget that applying to jobs is a full-time job also. So we took it upon ourselves that this one we can influence, this one we can be the accountability partner. So let's have it weekly, where we make sure that you apply to jobs, including interview preps. We do that with you weekly, right? Can I do both BA and DA at the same time? Oluwaseyi, yes is the answer, but if you are busy, if you're a busy professional, I would not advise you to do both at the same time. But if you're not busy, like your 9 to 5 is not taking so much of your time, or your shift job, regardless, it depends on the job you're doing right now, right? If it doesn't take too much of your time, sure. But if it takes too much of your time, please do one at a time. You're able to get the most and you won't get overwhelmed easily. So the reason why this internship is structured this way is because we understand why it is important for you to stop optimizing for permission and start optimizing for presence. If you don't have proof, if you don't position on LinkedIn, on your CV, right, and during your interviews, if you don't position properly, presence-wise, and you're just, I need sponsorship, like you're a charity case. If you're positioning like that, you're not helping. So sponsorship emerges as a retention logic. So we make sure that you look like that candidate, whether you are in their own system yet or you're just in the system, because this internship launches you into the system. And remember what I said earlier, they just want to know that you've done it before and they can trust you to do it here again. So the core mistake most people make is just trying to qualify themselves for sponsorship. Oh yeah, criteria. That's not what you should qualify yourself for. You need to qualify yourself for the team, for the company, because company would sponsor you when they know they can rely on you, because they see that somebody has trusted you before. So that was why I said, when I say you need to be in the system, I'm not saying in the system in their own company because they want to sponsor you. No, in the system, I mean in the system itself. You want to get a job as a business analyst. Oh, you want to get a visa sponsorship job as a BA. But are you in the system as a BA yet? Oh, I want to get a project management role, a sponsorship one at that. Have you managed a team before? Have you managed a project, right? Or is it just the imaginary Trello and team that, oh yeah, Trello, I know how to use Trello. It's just drag and drop, just update you to do. Did you really manage a team? Was there a sprint, right? Did you use Jira? Did you create a project charter at any point for an actual project? This is what this internship will give you. Actual team, actual project, actual management, right? Actual deadline, actual timeline, actual responsibility and stakeholder conversation, right? Yes, you can get a remote job. Abimbola, my first job in tech was a remote job. That job ended up sponsoring my relocation 7 months later after I delivered results and proved myself, right? Like I said, and how did I get the job? I launched myself into the system also through an internship. I was bold enough to send a DM to the founder of that company because now I have 4 months experience, of course, working as an intern, right? So I had that confidence that I can send a DM and I got the job, right? So you can definitely, oh, sorry, let me mute Lookman real quick. Lookman, you get to speak much later, don't worry. I'll take questions towards the end of the session, right? So let's talk about the winning strategy, the best way to become sponsorship worthy. Because like I said, it's beyond just saying pass the eligibility criteria, pass the this, pass the that, threshold, etc. It is beyond all of that. But then I am not saying that this strategy I'll share with you is easy. I'm not saying that it means you get a job tomorrow or tonight, no. But I'm saying that as long as you use the strategy and you don't give up, 2 months in, 3 months in, you can get the job. Pedro got this business sponsorship job 4 months into his internship. His last month in the program. We have people that got jobs 1 month in, and I'll show you that also as we proceed. So this works a lot. A lot of our interns have landed jobs. So it is not a straightforward path to this, right? You just have to be committed. You have to be invested, right? Because you know what they say, right? If you're not doing extra, if you're doing what the 99% of the other people are doing, you will keep getting the same result, right? But if you're doing what that extra, that 1% is doing, that's how you get to get the job. I had a session a couple of weeks ago and I asked the question, why do we think people are struggling to get a job? I threw the question to the audience and I said, please just let me know why you think people are struggling. They say, oh, there are a lot of jobs for data analysts. Oh, take a course in business analysis. There are jobs there. Companies are hiring. But here you are struggling to get the job. Why do you think that's the case? A lot of people said, oh, because the job market is saturated. And then I told them about a research I did, and I shared my report from that research. And every recruiter that was part of that report from different report platforms that I had, like World Economic Forum, etc., that I compiled, right? Because I shared that report with them. This recruiter said, oh, there is shortage of skilled workers. Now, let's take a look at it from these 2 points of view. The job seeker, yourself, the recruiter, gatekeepers. Now, the job seeker said it is saturated. Saturated means there are a lot of skilled and qualified workers that is way above the available roles. But then the recruiters are saying something, shortage of skilled workers. So now your definition, and one thing I said on that day is both parties are right. Somebody is just closer to the fact, and it is the gatekeeper. Remember I said earlier, everything else, someone else can. Yeah, we are all right. But the people that will give you the job are saying that this is what we need, but nobody is matching up to that standard. They are the ones that would give you access in. So if they say that you've not gotten to that point where we can grant that access, it is because they have a set criteria which you're not meeting. And right now they are saying there is shortage of skilled workers. So you are looking at it from the point of view of a lot of us are taking data analytics course. A lot of us are taking business analysis course. They are looking at it from not a lot of these business analysts can actually do the job. A lot of them don't have the experience. A lot of them just know it in theory. A lot of them have not been exposed. So you see why I said both parties are right, just that somebody is farther to the truth and somebody is closest to the truth. Yes, a lot of people are taking project management. A lot of people are taking business analysis courses. Every month, people are taking courses. But how many people are skilled? So you see why both are right, or somebody is closest to the truth. Now, what exactly, and by the way, report shows that this year alone, over 70K roles will be unfilled in the UK alone. You can Google it, you can check for it. A lot of roles will remain unfilled by the end of this year. It's already the end of this year, by the way. So if that role is unfilled, are we saying that the companies just keep it, open? No, they don't keep it open. And I'll tell you for a fact, I have experienced this firsthand. A company that reached out to me on LinkedIn that they wanted a web project manager, right? I did my due diligence. They shoot their shot, you know, headhunting and all that. And that's what we say. Recruiters are hiring and they are also doing something that we call the hidden job market, right? They check for people that are qualified online. But if you're not positioning on LinkedIn, how exactly are they going to find you? I'll get to that. That's a conversation I will get to as we proceed, right? So they sent me this DM. I responded. It looked like what I wanted. And then I did my due diligence, checked them out. I realized that they've been posting vacancy for this role for 7 months and they would share that post every month. And I was like, so if you guys have been searching for the past 7 months, what happens to the role then? You have your client because it's an agency, a German Nigerian agency. I was like, what happens then? It took me getting into that company to realize that they had been working with a contract web project manager. So that's how they fill those roles. They don't have somebody qualified, but they would not settle. So they would rather keep searching and work with a contract professional until they find that person that fits what they want and they can bring that person in full time. So they couldn't find 7 months. They were just working with contract staff, right? So if you are not that professional yet, they don't mind. They would rather not, because when you hire wrongly, it is more expensive, right? So that's why you also need to look at it from the sponsorship point of view. Hiring wrongly is already going to cost a company a lot, time and money. Then talk about sponsoring. You don't want to do it wrongly either because it costs you nothing less than 7K. So if you can't prove that you are worth times 10, times 5, times 3, times 6, right? If you're not worth that, if you're not proving that you are worth that, they might be skeptical. Again, they're not doubting that you're smart or anything. They are just doubting that you can help them, that you can contribute. So the sponsorship math is they are looking at the cost. So you need to show that you will either save them money or make them money. And proof is how you can back up your claim. So what makes you a cost to these people is you don't have measurable impact. In pounds, your CV is not really talking about companies you've impacted, how you saved money, how you made money, how you saved time, right? How you launched something fast, how you protected a system, how your work really meant value to the company. If your CV is not saying any of that, and your interview, the signals I mentioned, when you're telling your story, if you're not giving all of those signals, like a contributor that has really made significant impact, they will not see you as a right fit. So when you're also very generic about your skills, I'm a team player, I know how to use Excel, I am good with communication, you are not hitting, like you're not convincing them, you're not saying what they want to hear yet. You need to say how you used Excel to clean data, how you used Power BI for your ETL and also for your visualization, right? And how that meant helping the company see trends, helping the company see the peak period that they make money, helping the company see why they didn't make money last month, helping the company understand the major player or factor or the patterns that are really contributing to success of marketing or churn rate on their website when somebody is trying to check out etc. If you're not speaking about Excel like this, then you're being technical and I don't really understand what you're saying. And I think honestly, so far, what you know is just the course. You're just taking the course because speaking pain points. Now, like I said, if you worked as a data analyst with a fintech company, and my own company is not fintech, it's probably in the edtech space, and you're talking to me like this, you cleaned the data using Excel, you used Power BI for your visualization or Tableau for your visualization, right? And when you did the visualization, these were the insights, these were your recommendations, these were the things you found out. If you're not speaking like that, I would not understand, and you are giving me the signal that you are not ready. Yes, Oluwaseyi, is there a link we can share with interested friends to join the community? Yes, Jennifer is going to drop something for you right now. So Jennifer, please share the link with Oluwaseyi. And if your friends would like to speak to us also, you can send Jennifer a message. Jennifer is going to drop her number. So it's faster, so they can book a clarity call so they can speak to us like this. So sure, Jennifer is going to do that right now. Thank you. So if you're not speaking in this term, right, they would know that you don't have experience yet. You've just taken a course. So another thing is when you don't have UK context, you're not speaking in pounds, you're not speaking in GDPR, Prince 2, etc. All of these things that makes you stand out again, gives you an edge, right? You're not speaking in familiar terms and environment. They would start it out that you have experience working in this domain. Again, that's why we started Amdari, to close that gap, right? So you need to stop seeing sponsorship as something that you should beg for. You need to stop seeing sponsorship as, a favor that somebody is doing. Because if you understand that you're adding value, if you understand that you're contributing so much, you would position yourself as a hot cake, because that's how it should be, right? So what you need to do is get into the system. When I say get in, I'm not saying get into that company. No, it can be get into that company, it can be get into the system. And getting into the system can be through internship, right? Not random project work. Honestly, it's not enough, right? It's not enough. Random project work is not what it's good. That's why I keep saying this thing. I'm not saying, oh, when you work on projects, it's bad. No, it's good, but it doesn't give you that extra edge. You are not applying alone. Remember, you're applying with 300 others, 200 others, 50 others, right? So if they are doing that extra, they have the actual experience, exposure, teams, real timeline, real people that trusted them. They also have reference, but you don't have this. They would have a better shot at getting the job, right? So you need to make sure that what you have done has helped you develop, or rather deliver value, right? And then that makes you look like a perfect candidate that can get the job or be sponsored. So what are the strategies you should apply or adopt? Target companies that already hire immigrants. But remember, I said earlier that this is what you hear every time. So we are not stopping here. I have a list that I've attached to this, and I'll share that with us real quick, right? I have a list that I've attached, and this is it. When you click on this link that you see on my screen, sponsor list here, right? When you click on it, you will get redirected to this sheet. I have a lot. Look at where we still are. So let me just drag it down. Can you see that it's over 130 companies that are sponsoring? Can you see right here? It's over 130K that are sponsoring. So I'd like us to check out something real quick. I want to pick a company at random, right? I want to pick a company at random. So let's take a look at this 100% on Wall Limited. So I'll copy this and put it right here, right? Just a minute. So I'll copy this. I hope I'm sharing the screen here. So like I said, you would have access to this sheet. Please just fill the form that my colleague is dropping if you want to have access to this sheet, so that you can also try this out yourself at your, leisure time. Now, I type this and you can see that. So just click on any of those companies randomly, please. And then you would see different things here. Contact us, join our team, right? I'd like us to click on join our team. This is something I would like you to do for different companies, right, that you see on that list. As long as just do your research, you like it, then great, right? Click on join our team. Now, here's a very interesting thing that I'm trying to point out here. When you click on join our team, you'll see right here they have something. It says current vacancies, H&S manager, field manager. Then the most interesting aspect, can't see a role for you. We always want to hear from like-minded people. Apply here to keep your CV on the file, right? Now, while you can apply here to keep your CV on the file, that statement already says something. Why not shoot them a DM or email rather? Shoot them an email and make sure that that email sells you perfectly. Value what you've done, pitch yourself so well, and I'll explain how this has worked for me. Now, the reason why I'm showing you this is to let you know that I'm not just saying, oh, try this approach or try that approach, because no, it's something that has worked, and it's because companies are really using this to hire. Because when you take this step, it shows you as more audacious, zealous, and some ego getter. And I promise you, founders and companies, look out for these traits. Remember what I said about signals, those signals that make you look like a perfect culture fit, a great addition to the team, an elite applicant. These are the signs when you are bold enough to put together the value you delivered elsewhere. So it's not enough to know this strategy. do you have the proof to back up your message and your email? If you don't have that proof, you have to build that proof. Because again, you can get the audience, but would you get a response? You want to get the response. And when you get the response, you have the story that will help you sell yourself perfectly, position yourself, have that presence that will make them say, okay. And I promise you, even if it's not a role they have yet, they can create that role around you. This has played out perfectly in my case, and I will show you what I mean. So you can see that I picked this company from the list I showed us, and this is something they have on their own website. So anytime you Google it like this, please don't worry yourself about back and forth. Yes, you can do your due diligence, maybe go to their homepage, read about them, but immediately you're done with the homepage, just go to join our team. Just go to join our team and shoot your shot. Even if the role is not open, you can see something right here, right? That says this clearly. Just shoot your shot to their DM. Now let's come back to my slide. Now, one quick thing I would like to show us are people that have gotten jobs through this internship program. And I'll also show you how I use that strategy that I just showed us, and it played out perfectly. Now, talking about applying to companies that sponsor, we all know that Deloitte is one of the companies that sponsor, right? Now, this is one of our interns that got a job with Deloitte in August this year. Now, he sent a message to his team lead. You can see the team lead sharing the good news with us. My intern landed a PM job at Deloitte. And right here, he shares their conversation and he says, one day, I just got a call from Deloitte. One day is brother in Igbo. Look at the relationship between the intern and his team lead. So he says, brother, I just got a call from Deloitte that the interview was successful. Sorry, I think I handled my mouse wrongly. That the interview was successful. Starting onboarding in August, to God be the glory. And the team lead says, brother, this has made my week. Congratulations. And the intern says, now you do pass, up Amdari, up Mr. Brown. Now, Mr. Francis, who is the intern, consultant, like I said, I'm just using the word intern so that you don't, oh, consultant, what does Omo mean by consultants? Our interns are referred to as consultants. We don't put intern on your CV and we don't put it on your LinkedIn so that we don't make you look like a junior when you apply to those roles. Remember, you're working on business problems for 5 to 6 different businesses. So that's you already doing enough, right? So that's not intern level exposure and experience. That's more, but it's just you having access to that through internship, right? So you can see right here on his LinkedIn, you can check him out on LinkedIn, Francis Afua. So right here it says project management consultant at Amdari, and you can see the date stamp. I don't think it's so clear because it's a screenshot I took from his page. So it says March 2025, and he got the job in July, because remember here he says starting onboarding in August. So he got the job in July and he has resumed with them. And like I said, we all know that this is a company that sponsors, right? So he now has a leg in. So sometimes these opportunities, not everybody gets it as sponsorship, like Pedro and a couple of others that have gotten sponsorship up front. Some of you, it will just be the leg in first and sponsorship can come out of it. And that played out in my own case, which I'll show us now. So this is the list I mentioned earlier and I will share with us. Please just fill the form that my colleague has dropped right now. You see Amdari Group dropping that you should fill the attendance form. Please fill the form and you will have access to this sheet. And please just do what I showed you. You never can tell the opportunity that will come out of that, but build experience first. Now, you can also take short-term contracts or gigs or freelance roles, right? Now, why this is important is because it's an opportunity to get your leg in the door, right? The minute those companies feel, remember what we said about trust, sometimes they want to observe you first. They can't trust you from the get-go. Every interview is a gamble. I just need you to show me that, at least in your case, it is reduced risk, right? Because yes, we know that talk is cheap, everybody is perfect in theory and all that, but just convince me beyond reasonable doubt that I can still take a chance with you, right? And once I have that assurance, I give you the job, you come in, you deliver relentlessly, you are proving to me beyond reasonable doubt that not only did I make the right decision, but you are also indispensable, and anything I can do to keep you on my team, I will do it. Now, I sent this DM to a recruiter. I shoot my shot. This was me 4 months into my own internship as a software developer, right? Now, they were not hiring, I promise you. I just liked the work the company was doing. It was a company that I kind of admired. I was living in Nigeria, far back in the north, and I was doing my internship. I was 4 months in, and I really was just looking for ways and opportunities to just know more about the space, find out about things happening. And I stumbled on the company, and I was like, this is really this is nice, right? I would like to work in a place like this. That was how we started. So I said, let me even check their founder. Thankfully, he would post and he would, like, they were tagging him. Back then you can't collaborate. So the tag, so I just clicked and then I checked his page and I followed him, right? Then I checked my page. I was about to send him a DM and I said, wait, I don't look like somebody that this person would respond to. So let me revamp my page. Let me get things off my page, right? And put things that I know I want to have on my page such that somebody of this caliber would respond to me. So I revamped my page. I posted pictures of when I was giving a speech on ethical hacking at a Google developers meetup. I posted when I was at a Kotlin event, right? I attended a lot of meetups within that 4 months of it. Like, I invested my time, energy into getting the most out of that experience, that internship. I didn't know that I was building my proof beyond just my project, beyond the work I was doing. I didn't know that I was creating presence. I was creating expertise. I was looking like someone that knew what she was doing. But I've just been in the space for 4 months, right? So, but the approach and how I was going about it was making me look extra, not like every other person that was doing internship. So I posted all those images from those events, and 2 weeks later, I sent him a DM so that I wasn't fresh now. So I sent him the DM, and this is the DM. I said, I don't know if it's so clear, right? So in case you're not joining with a very big device, but I'll read it out. I said, I just decided to send, so I did a screenshot of the most important part of the conversation because it's long and it's not going to fit into one slide. And I don't want to have multiple slides just for this story. So I said, I just decided to send you a DM because I find your post inspiring and I really look forward to probably working with you. He said, work with me. That would be nice. Please remember I said I already updated my profile so that I would look like I knew what I was doing. So all the pictures from the events, the meetups, my speaking engagement, my code, like image of my code, everything like that. I posted all that. So, and then my bio also. So it now says, what do you do? I said, I'm a web developer. And I said, I just completed Google digital marketing skills. Remember, I was not pitching myself as a marketer. I was pitching myself as a developer, but I was just adding all the extras that I was exposing myself to. And I told him about how I optimize websites that I build, right? And how I've been practicing that. And the fact that I am currently working on an app right here. And I said, it's my first mobile app development. I sent him the link. I told him I was doing internship. And I sent him everything, my GitHub link, some of the projects I had worked on, for my portfolio purpose, and the link to this app itself. So he checked it out, right? And then so I was like, I mean, what else am I going to say, right? So after the whole conversation, I just went quiet. All of this happened in less than 24 hours. This was the next day. This conversation started the night before. This was the next morning. Now, this is June 2020, so 2019. You can see the date here. He says, hi. I say, hello, sir. How is work? He says, how are you? Are you interested in he writes his company name. And I said, I am fine. I am interested 100%. He says, he says, drop your number here. That drop your number was the conversation where he just got to meet me, personality questions and all of that. And I got the job. Shooting your shots, the same way I mentioned. So you need to shoot your shot with a valuable message. Send value first. So if you go the route of looking at those companies that are sponsoring, you can also shoot your shot like this. But you're targeting those companies from that list. That list makes it easy. Please send the message as much as you can. I promise you, companies need help. Companies need expert hands. Companies need help. So they don't have anything against anybody. They don't even know you personally, right? And for every recruiter, the first time we set out like this and say, we want to hire, the prayer is, I hope I don't get to interview the entire talent pool before I find my perfect candidate. I hope I find my perfect candidate from the get-go. If we can get the perfect candidate from the first interview, I promise you, it's worth celebrating. It's worth popping champagne. All right. So it's not like these recruiters want to waste your time or anything. In fact, they want you to save them time. So if you come across as the perfect candidate, and one thing I forgot to mention, this company was not hiring. Because I mentioned that I was a web developer and I spoke about my digital marketing skills, he said they needed somebody. That's the part I skipped. They needed somebody for a product marketer role. Remember the two combinations. Products, I built products, and I also have done marketing. So I was applying it where I was working at that time. That's the marketing aspect. So they created that role. They were not hiring for it. I got that job 7 months later. That company sponsored my relocation, right? And I was doing my best just because I just wanted to go, because the role was entry level, was trial. Honestly, I was on probation. For the probation was supposed to be for 3 months, and then I get confirmed after 3 months. But my confirmation came after the first month, and I was like, okay, so that I would get promoted a bit, so at least not entry level, so that my salary would increase, because it wasn't so, it wasn't bad, but of course you can always do better as a person, right? So I was like, oh, so that I can even, that was what I was striving for. I got all that. In addition, my relocation was sponsored, right? And I didn't see that coming. So these are ways that just get into the system. And how did I launch myself into the system? It started with the internship. And from that internship, I went deeper into the system, spoke at events, Google Developers Meetup. I did presentations here and there. I spoke at marketing meetup also. I forgot to mention that. For Coppers back then, it was a live event. All of these things, I was posting it on my page. And I didn't know that. I didn't post it on my page back then, sorry. I was, having the pictures, and I didn't know that I was building proof. But when the time came to shoot my shot, I didn't read it in a book I just knew that, do I look like somebody that this man will respond to? No. Let me revamp my page, right? So the other thing I would advise you to also try out is hybrid or remote roles, right? So it helps a lot. Sometimes these recruiters just want to test you before they bring you on board. Somebody asked me earlier that, oh, can you get a remote role without relocating? This is your answer. I can't remember the name right now. Oh, Emmanuel, we're going to send the list to your email, right? You need to fill the form that my colleague just dropped again. Amdari Growth just dropped the link again. You need to fill it. We'll send it to you via email. So as I was saying, right, somebody asked a question in the chat and she was like, oh, what if I don't want to relocate? What if I just want to get a remote job? This is your answer here. So sometimes they want to just test. So if it happens that later you want to relocate, why not, right? I have people that send me DMs every time from different locations, whether it's US, whether it's Canada, they send you messages regarding that. So it's just up to you if you're open to moving to that part, or if you like being in the UK, that's also fine. This is another intern of ours that landed a job. His name is Jerry, and he sent this message to Emeka, his team lead. He says, hi, Emeka. Just wanted to officially let you know that I have landed a data analyst role within the civil service, and it's a level promotion too. I was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analysis project. I edited and submitted our first project. Saved me a lot of time and gave me confidence. Also spoke about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition. Thank you so much for your mentorship, Emeka. Take your flowers, Abeg. Remember what I said. If somebody is not invested in your success or your growth, I don't think they'll be one of the first set of people you share your good news with. Now, this message is important because he said something right here. He said he was asked to prepare a presentation on any data analysis project. He edited and submitted their first project. That saved him time. Of course, it will save him time. It's something he has worked on already. He's not starting from the scratch. That confidence would come from knowing that you did the work. You have the answers to all of this. You lived that experience. So there is no angle a question will come from that you will not be able to defend. He now said, I also spoke about the SQL project when they asked about data acquisition. Then laugh emoji. We all know what this means. There is a backstory to this. Maybe they already said, during interviews, they typically ask something. You can talk about this project in that type of situation. Again, that laugh emoji just indicates that there is a backstory to that conversation. So you can see how the internship and how invested your team leads are in making sure that you're successful in any interview you go into. So we also do something. We also make sure that we give you that opportunity Yeah, I'm going to get to that, Elizabeth. You'll be working with business analysis tools like Jira, Confluence, just to mention a few. I'll get to all of that and I'll show you the list. Draw.io, Notion, and yeah, a couple of them, even Trello. I don't know if I mentioned Trello already. So these are the tools you'll be working with in the course of the internship at Amdari, right? So you'd also get to another major thing you need to bear in mind is delivering value when you get in. Most times we settle, we are like, oh, I'm in, and you know, I've gotten the job. You've gotten the job does not mean you should relax. I promise you, you need to keep delivering value continuously. It is very, very important. Now, one thing I'd like to show us real quick is that you need to make sponsorship the company's problem. When you don't position, right, as somebody who needs help, somebody who needs saving, you will be pretty much kind of positioning as someone that can help them, someone that is ready to contribute. I'd like us to quickly listen to something, right? And that's testimonial from Jerry on how this internship has helped him and how he has landed a job. If you can't hear anything, do let me know. All right. Okay. Why is it not playing? Just a minute. So I think I'll let my colleague play from her end. So Jennifer, I would like you to play. Sorry, I think I'll stop sharing right now. Jennifer, I'd like you to quickly play Jerry's video because it's not coming up here. Sorry. So let me stop sharing. So Jennifer, please play Jerry's video from your end. I want us to quickly listen to Jerry share his experience. Sorry about that. So I don't want to take too much of our time. I know why this video is not playing, and if I want to fix that, that will take time. So Jennifer, please confirm you can hear me. Can you hear me? So we'll play the. We're wrapping up shortly, right? We're wrapping up real quick, and I'll take everybody's question as we proceed. So just a minute while we wait for Jennifer. So Jennifer is going to play Jerry's video, and we would listen to how the internship program at Amdari has helped Jerry stand that proper chance to get the job, right? So we'll just play it just for like 2-3 minutes. I'd let Jennifer know when she should stop the video. So Jennifer, are you there? Hello, Jennifer. Okay, so I think Jennifer is struggling with some technical issues herself. So, okay, I guess I'll come back to this, hopefully. I'll come back to this, but I'll see if there's another video from here that can play. Let me see. But Jennifer, you can still keep trying it. I don't know why it's not coming up though, but yeah, still the same. So I'm trying to play one of the videos for us, but we'll wait for Jennifer to sort that from her end also, and I would quickly give her the access to play it. So I just want us to hear directly from one of our interns. So Jennifer, if Jerry's video is not coming up, you can try another video. It can be Anita's video, right? It can be Anita's video or any video. Just let me know once that's off, right? Just let me know once that's off. Okay, so as we proceed, right? So we have a visa sponsorship job board on our Amdari website, which I will show us right now. So this is what it looks like. So when you come to the actual platform, this platform is accessible to every intern in the program. You can come here, you can see internship is right here. Internship is right here. Job board is right here. Portfolio is right here, right? You can see portfolio right here. And just a couple of other things. So if you come to the job board, for example, just a minute. Let me come to the job board. So when you come to the job board, for example, you see the different jobs that we have available on the platform. I don't know why this is acting weird. Oh, yeah. So yes, once you come to the job board, this is it's still loading. But let me just come back to this. I really don't want to take too much of your time. But this is what it looks like, right? Yeah, this is what it looks like. Jennifer MM says you should drop the link again. So please drop the link again. So these are more people that have landed jobs in the UK. We have one of them that says, "Hi Jennifer, I just wanted to thank you and the Amdari team." By the way, this Jennifer is another Jennifer. The Jennifer here is one of the Jennifers. Yeah, she's one of the team leads for our interns under data analytics. So you can see she says, "I just want to thank you and the Amdari team for the amazing work you guys are doing. May God bless you all. Guess what? I got a job, right? And this other person says, I started getting interviews after joining the internship. The CV template really helped me, right? So this is somebody that shared this from the very first month. So now, one important question you need to ask is, if your CV and the interviews you've been attending makes you look like a cost or an investment to these recruiters, because the minute you look like a cost to these recruiters, they will skip, right? But when you look like an investment, they will definitely pour back into you. So the only way to get the sponsorship, we've said this over and over again, is to position by showing proof. So stop marketing yourself as a job seeker. Position yourself as a problem solver. I've solved problems in the past. I have made money for companies in the past. I've achieved this for companies in the past. They will find it easy to be convinced and trust that you can do the same thing here. And from how you tell the story, it also lets them know if they can trust you or not. So it's important to flip the game and not look like us. So what are the things that these recruiters want to see? A problem you've solved before for a company, a recruiter that trusted you before, somebody that can back up your claim of work done in form of a reference or recommendation, right? The impact of your work, the result of your work. If you are not saying or showing any of this, it becomes a challenge for you to get the job. Here's an example of a project that our data science interns worked on. It's a waste classification machine learning project. So they work on different projects, from AI related project, churn related project, machine learning related project. And this particular project, for example, is a project that you get to upload an image, take a photo of that item, right? And the platform they built is going to classify it as waste, or it's going to classify it as waste and also let you know if it's plastic, metal, or organic. This was built for a brand, for a company. So what tools did they use? They used tech stacks like TensorFlow, Git, and Hugging Face, right? Very important tech stacks that recruiters are hiring for across different career paths. So if your career path is not data science, trust me, you're working with tools that are very much in demand also in the job market. So now we will be listening to some of the testimonials. Like I said, we'll quickly hear from Jerry. So Jennifer is going to play that video. Then I'll come back to sharing my screen. So Jennifer, you have the floor now, so you can share your screen. So I'll take questions. I'll be done in about 10 minutes after we play of these videos. Yeah, go on, Jennifer.
Within the civil service. And I would say that this would have been possible without the support, the mentorship, and the community here at Amdari. Hi, everyone. My name is Jerry Olatoyo, and I just wanted to share a quick word about my journey as a data analyst consultant at Amdari, and how this program has immeasurably helped and shaped me when it comes to data analysis. And before joining, I would say that I had a passion and some skills, but I needed something more, something way beyond just having the skills. I needed to have the real world industry experience. And this is what I got at Amdari. I was able to work on actual projects that made a difference when it comes to the business world. But then I had the chance to work with cross-functional teams. At the time, I was even able to, I was asked to lead a team, which I did. And this helped me when it comes to, managing people, instilled in me confidence in managing projects end to end. And when it comes to delivering insight that make an impact. And this program exposed me to a variety of tools used in industry, Excel, Power BI, Tableau, SQL. And then I was able to apply all these tools to solve real world problems. And this gave me the experience employers are looking for. And I could say that these are the things that I use when it comes to applying for jobs, and also when it comes to engaging interviewers during interviews. And one of the takeaways that I would say was during this program was resilience, because there were challenges along the way, moments where I had to push through, of course, working on some bugs in the data, at the time, I had to manage different priorities, and then I had to manage deadlines just to make sure that I was able to submit the project, as at when due. It is amazing, fantastic. Like you really get value in this program, I would say. And honestly, it's been a rewarding journey. and I'm really grateful. And I want to encourage anyone, whether you're thinking of doing this or you're in this already, just trust the process, stay consistent, and you're going to see the result.
Okay, thank you very much, Jennifer. So yes, I'm also going to quickly play another, just a minute, please, sorry. So I'm just going to share another link with Jennifer. So Jennifer, the video I wanted us to play is actually not this one in particular, it's the one on the drive that I wanted you to play where I had an interview with Jerry. But since you already played that, I think we would skip it. But this is the one I'm sending it to you right now. So yeah. So I'll just we'll just proceed, right? But there is also something I'd like us to hear as we go on. It's how one of our interns, right, got a job because of the reference letter that she got from Amdari, right? The reference letter that she got from Amdari was one of the things that helped her. So I will take it there right now. I'll share my screen right now. Thank you. So just a minute, please. Okay. Please confirm that there is audio. Can you hear anything? And can you see my screen? Because I'm not sure my screen is.
Hi, Mommy.
Okay.
We can't hear anything yet.
My screen is not sharing.
Not yet.
Okay, let me stop sharing again.
Could I share
I've
from
actually
my?
started sharing my screen. Okay. I'll reshare that. Let's see, is it up now? I think not up yet. Yeah, I can see it's not up. I don't know why my screen is not sharing. That's
It's
very
sharing now.
strange.
It's sharing now, Mommy.
It's sharing now. Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, yes, awesome. So please, I'll play it now. Let me know if there is
My
audio.
heart. So
two people, but my reference is actually new. Using all the technical tools that I've learned at Amdari, using them and all this. So it was pretty good. And then the reference too from your hand was pretty tight because they actually had to mention it that my references were hair tight, that they were actually considering two people, but my references actually nailed it for me.
Please confirm that you heard what she said. Let me be sure that there was audio. Okay, awesome. Thank you. So yes, so pretty much the reason why I played that is for us to know that proof goes beyond just saying that you've done something and you're showing that, okay, this is what I have done. When you have somebody that can back up your claim also, it's easy, right? And in her case, she said there were two people that were considered for the job. That means they both ticked every box. But what she had extra was that reference. That's why I keep saying that when it comes to getting a job, you're not doing too much. Honestly, when it comes to job hunting and everything, anything and everything you have to do to make sure that you're ticking every box, please make sure you do that. Because imagine she had just said, oh yeah, she does everything, but she doesn't have any reference. Because now that's why she got the job and the other person did not get the job. Not that the other person wasn't as good. And obviously, they did not just interview two of them. They interviewed more, but she and the other person got the job because sure, they had reference, right? So these are the different ways that this program makes you stand a better chance to get the job. So the quality of the project, quality of the exposure, right? The team, the fact that you're not working alone, all of this boils down to how this program helps you. So I would like us to hear from Anita just for 2 minutes,
just a few months, I think about 2 months
how
into
the internship program played a key role in making her land a job 2 months in. She got the job 2 months in. So let's hear from Anita.
So I mean, you got a job offer just a few months, I think about 2 months into the program. So how does that feel? You got a business analyst role. So how does that feel?
Yeah, feels feels exciting. Yeah, feels exciting.
Yeah. Amazing. That's actually great to know. So what specific skills or experience from this Amdari program would you really say gave you that confidence to ace your interview?
So I would say being in the shoes of a consultant actually helped because you're solving business cases, you're preparing the documentation. So having deeper experiences or having first-hand deeper experiences into creating all the business requirement documentations, using all of those tools, going deeper into business analysis itself was a good one for me. So it just helped prepare me for whatever interview was coming.
Awesome. So what would you say the reaction of the recruiters was like during the interview process? You ended up landing in senior business analyst role, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was the reaction like when they saw the quality of the project, or even from you talking about the projects you worked on? What was their reaction like as a result of what you built, the experience you gained, and what you could do?
I could only see a reaction of, okay, this is the girl we are looking for. This is the person we want to work with, right? And that was because having had experience working with those processes as a consultant in Amdari, I was able to defend those projects, talk about the project in depth. I was able to talk about the tools used in the project, cost of the project, benefits, which is everything you would learn and do as a consultant in Amdari. So the only reaction I got was, this is our girl, this is the person we want. Because even at the interview there, they already started asking me how long I needed to give notice in my current job, and then showing me and telling me.
Okay, I didn't know I was muted. So I promised 2 minutes. So we can't, I mean, it's about 6 minutes video, so we can't play everything. So let's just come back here. So I just wanted us to listen to that point of view also. The fact that you're not working alone, and the fact that you're working with people, and that exposure are little things that really compiles and makes you that candidate that is seen as good enough to do the job, right? And like I said, for every project you work on, that's a story waiting to be told during your interview. So this is another person that got a job. And one thing is, she got a data protection job, right? But her knowledge on that, as it relates to GRC, was something new to the recruiters. According to her, they had never heard of a role called governance, risk, and compliance. So she spoke at length about that and how it ties to data protection. And they were fascinated. That was why she got the job. That was why she got the job. So sometimes, that's why we said, honestly, just know the different job titles that you can apply to. It doesn't matter. But if you have more exposure and all of that, that's how you stand out. That's how you're that candidate. So for you to get sponsorship, it's not a straightforward path. It is you qualifying first, you having a skill that is proven, meaning you've worked in an environment that shows that you have exposure, right? You worked in a team, you had people you reported to, you had people who trusted you with work, right? The founders, the stakeholders, etc. These are things that these recruiters just want to see. So it's not enough to say, oh, but I've worked in other places before. Have you worked as a project manager before? Have you worked as a business analyst before? No, right? So you need to have experience as that. So if you have all of this and you position right, it is easy for you to be seen as that perfect candidate. So what do you have to do? I asked the question earlier. Have we taken a course? It's important because for you to go in for any apprenticeship or internship, you need to have prior knowledge. It doesn't have to be deep. When I went in for my internship, I could only code in 2 programming languages and very surface level, not expert level, not intermediate level. Honestly, very surface level, because the platforms I was building, I could not even make it mobile responsive, but I went in for my internship and I got it, right? So, and that was where I built every other competence that made me get a job 4 months later. So when you're taking the course, don't skip this next stage. This next stage is the internship stage, this one. So now you've taken the course, you need to work on projects and build portfolio that can help you stand a chance. This portfolio needs to reflect, or rather the signals need to show stakeholder conversation, client feedback, real business challenge that you solved, that you worked on, right? Real tools that you worked with. Elizabeth has been asking questions around tools and all that. Yes, real tools that you worked with, and not just tools, not the technicalities alone. What did you use it in doing for a business? Real collaboration, teams, deliverables, right? Did you do any of this? And is there somebody that can vouch for you? Reference, recommendation, right? It's very important. So what are the roles that companies are currently sponsoring for? If you've taken a course in data analytics, data science, data engineering, cybersecurity, business analysis, or project management, you have a career path that is being sponsored for already, right? Not limited to this. I'm only mentioning this because these are the career paths that Amdari currently grants internship on, right? These are the current ones that we focus on. So you've taken a course in all these career paths already. It is time for you to take the next step. Build proof, build experience, or gain experience, because this is what helps you to land the job, right? So Amdari gives you that proper exposure. You solve business problems using those technical tools you've learned and all of that, and you develop soft skills because you will not be working alone, right? So you develop all of this, and you're that candidate that that shows the signal. So we've already played the video of Toyin that spoke about being one of the last two candidates, and she got the job because of her reference. Now we'll take a look at the different reference letters that we have. These are just more people that have gotten jobs. If you take a look at my screen, you see that Betty interned at Amdari as Information Technology Project Manager, and she got a job as Information Technology Business Project Manager with Eclipse IT Limited in the UK, 5 months after her internship, like 5 months after she got into the program. So this was January. At that time, we were still running the internship for 6 months, right? So she was still in the program as at May, and she got the job in May. She was done in June. So you can check her out on LinkedIn, right? So speaking of tools, I hope Elizabeth is still on the call. Elizabeth, can you give me a thumbs up? You're here, Elizabeth, give me a thumbs up. I know you've been asking questions about tools, right? So, okay, awesome. So yes, let's start with data analytics. The tools that the data analytics interns at Amdari will get to work with and solve problems with. You're not just coming to learn, you're coming to use it to do actual work for businesses, right? So you can say what you use Excel to solve. You can say what you use SQL to solve, right? Not just I learned it. I know how to use SQL. I know how to use Power BI. No. So you'll be working with Power BI, Excel, SQL, Tableau, and this is just to mention a few. On some projects, you're a product analyst. On some projects, you're a logistics analyst. On some projects, operations analyst. On some, marketing analyst. On others, business intelligence analyst, just to mention a few, because I have a lot here, right? Then for data science, on some projects, you will be working with AWS, Azure, Python, GCP, just to mention a few, honestly. On some projects, you're a machine learning engineer. On some projects, you're a marketing research analyst. On some projects, you're a forecast analyst. On other projects, you are a computer vision engineer, just to mention a few, right? Then we also have for data engineers, some projects you're working with Python, Azure, you're working with Docker Studio. Docker Studio is not on my screenshot. So yes, just let me mention all the tools you see here, it's not limited to them. We have more tools you'll be working with. You can only put as much, just so we don't make this too busy and jam-packed, right? On some projects, you work as a BI engineer. Some projects, you are ETL developer, AWS cloud engineer, Azure cloud engineer, data platform engineer. Yeah, just to mention a few, to be honest. And then as a business analyst, you'll be working with tools like Power BI, because you will be doing a lot of data analytics also as a business analyst, right? So as you're as you're focused on requirement gathering, process mapping, what's it called now? Process optimization. As you're doing all that, you're also working with data, right? So you will be working with tools like Excel, SQL, Power BI on that front. Then you'll be working with Draw.io, Notion, Jira, Trello. I know Trello is not here, but again, just to mention a few. On some projects, you are operations analyst, requirements analyst, business process improvement analyst, change management analyst, etc. So when you see some of these job titles, you're not wondering why we have just small project or business analyst roles, when obviously some of these companies have named these other things. I remember when I was looking for a product manager role, and the company sent me a DM on LinkedIn saying they're hiring for a web project manager. I had to say, can you tell me more about this role? I didn't write it off, but it did sound like product manager. But I was just curious. Okay, can you tell me more about this role? And she goes on to tell me more about it. And I promise you, the JD was exactly that of a project manager and product manager. And I took the job, right? So as a project manager, you'll be working with kickoff, Jira, Confluence, Microsoft Project, Notion, etc. On some projects, you're a Scrum Master. On some projects, you're a technical Scrum Master, Agile Project Manager, IT Project Manager, just to mention a few. Then as a cybersecurity analyst under SOC, you'll be working with Splunk, Wireshark, Autopsy, just to mention a few. On some projects, you're working as a cybersecurity analyst, log management specialist, security compliance analyst, etc. The same thing for ethical hacking. On some projects, you're working as ethical hacker, white hat hacker, exploit developer, red team operator. You're working with tools like Nikto, Nmap, Metasploit, and the likes. Then for GRC, you're working with tools like OpenGRC, OpenSCAP. You're working with Excel. You're working with Linux, and again, just to mention a few. And just like I said earlier, all the tools you're seeing on this platform, it's not limited to them. Now, some projects would have you working on working with 2 tools, 3 tools, etc. Right? So it's not like one project, one tool. No, you would have to work with a couple of tools just to get some work done in some cases. So this is an example of some interviews I've had. I won't be playing any more video because of time, and so I can take your questions. So this is reference request. This is important. So let me talk about it. So this is one of our interns that was applying for a job, and the company trying to hire her sent us this message, and they said, Olayinka has nominated you to provide employment reference for the application to Healthcare Island. And this one says the above named has been offered a position as a systems analyst with our company and has provided your details as a reference. So it can come in different ways, whether they've gotten the job or they're in the process of getting it. It can be requesting for reference letter, or they just call us, like I said, so they request for reference details, or they just go on to say we should fill a reference form. So it's always like an appraisal and stuff like that, which we just, fill for you. So again, because of time, I'm skipping all of this. Let's just get straight into the one that everybody has been concerned about. Oh, when is the next internship starting? It's starting on the 10th of January. It's starting on the 10th of January. And I'll read the questions we have in the chat, then I'll take some people's questions, so you get to raise your hands. Now, for you to enroll, I don't have prior experience related to BA, but just with 3 months of internship in BA, what are my chances to get a job in the current market? You don't need much experience. You just need quality and great projects, great impact, right? And for you to be able to just tell your stories, right? So I can't tell you your chances of getting a job because I don't know the quality of work you've done, because you said you've done 3 months of internship in BA. So I don't know how much of work that is, right? But you need to know that acing your interview also boils down to knowing how to tell your story, showing them those signals that make them know that you are ready to contribute, right? And that's why Amdari has interview prep session every Thursday with our interns, right? We have interview prep session every Thursday, and I'll show you, I'll play the video for you for just 1 minute, just 1 minute. So this interview prep session happens every Thursday. It's open to every intern in the program. And this interview prep session can also be one-on-one. So as you're having this one that is general, Thursdays, right? You still have the one that is one-on-one, and you can just book it. It's open Mondays to Fridays. Just pick a date, time that works for you, and show up for that. So just a minute. Yeah, let's listen. No sound. Oh my God. Let me stop sharing. So that's an interview. Sorry. Okay. I'll stop sharing now and then share again. So that's an interview with one of our data engineering interns. Okay. So just give me a thumbs up once you can hear the sound. I'll play it for just 1 minute because of time. So that's one of our data engineering interns. His name is Santiago. So he was being interviewed on this day by Chichi, one of the data engineering mentors, and our employability specialist. You can't see them clearly because they were not paid. So just the two of them were pinned at this point. So let's just listen to the interview prep for just 1 minute, and then we'll listen to how he was giving feedback for 45 seconds, and then I'll come back to talking about how you can enroll.
Try to
Give me a
improve in
thumbs
that
up
sense.
if sound now. Can you see my screen?
All right. Thank you.
Mm.
Okay. My final question is: have you used Power Query before?
For query, yes, I have.
Okay. Can you tell me what kind of tool is it? I mean, why do you use Power Query? And can you walk me through a project that you did using Power Query?
So the one that we did had to do with customer churn, and we had basically two tables, one indicating customer information, so like where they were from, where the gender, and I believe that was it, and no, and their age. And the other one indicating account information, which had things like what was the balance in the bank, whether they had left, as in churn the bank or not, and the recency, meaning the date of the last transaction or
Okay, so let me
any
stop
sort
it.
of activity.
Promised 1 minute. It's already exceeded. So let's listen to this for 45 seconds on how he was just giving the feedback, right? So yeah.
Question exactly. So you derailed from the question, and when you start talking too much, that's when you get derailed. And also when a question is being asked, if you do not understand it, please feel free to ask the interviewer to repeat his or herself.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody is
Okay.
going to sanction you for that. No.
Right.
Please, I do not understand. Can you explain? All right. The person will go
Okay,
ahead and
yeah.
explain him or herself. Okay. Well, you just go straight to that very question. And also, just as Amina said, right, using the STAR method is very, very important when you're answering a question. Okay. Because that will also help you to still be in the line of what you were saying. It was actually the last question.
Okay, so yeah, 45 seconds on the dot. So I stayed true to that. Okay, so yeah, for you to enroll, the next cohort is on the 10th of January. And just like you've seen Santiago have the interview prep, that's how we have different interns volunteer and we have the interview prep with us. So how do you secure your spot? Now we're running a discount that allows you to pay £310 instead of £500. And we extended this discount so it serves as a holiday discount. So it is going to be closing in the next 24 hours. So by 12 a.m. tomorrow, the discount will be off, right? It will be off and it will go back to £500. So if you'd like to take advantage of this discount, you get to pay in 3 installments. That means you get to pay £103 today, pay £103 27th of January, and pay your last installment on the 27th of February. So you are able to spread your payment across no, you're not paying for Jira, you're paying for the internship experience, right? So you pay across for 3 months, so you're spreading it. So how do you secure your spot, right? Because like I said, we're closing the spot once it's 12 a.m. tomorrow, or once we hit the mark of 5 enrollees, right? Because we've been running this since the beginning of the month, and we are currently, the internship is starting on the 10th of January, so we're closing the gates, let me put it that way. So if you'd like to take advantage of this discount, this is the enrollment link. Yes, so you can contact Jennifer also, but this is the payment link. But Jennifer, please drop your number in the chat. So contact my colleague Jennifer. She has also dropped the payment link. So just click on that payment link and I'll walk you through how you can easily enroll. So you see that also without even having to contact anybody, Adeni. So let's say you will get redirected to this page you're seeing on my screen right now. right here on this page, please scroll down, okay? Scroll down to the program of choice. Are you enrolling for data analytics, data science, data engineering, business analysis, project management, SOC, ethical hacking, or GRC? Whichever one you are for, click on secure your internship, and you would automatically get redirected to this page you see right here on my screen. Once you get to this page, right, please feel free to click on one-time payment if you want to pay once, 2 monthly payments if you want to pay twice, or 3 monthly payments if you want to pay 3 times. Click on this. You can see that if you're paying 3 times, you get to pay £103 for 3 months. So once you click on that, click on secure internship, and you see the payment breakdown. You pay today, the next one is due January, the next one is due February, 1 month from now, and also 2 months from now, right? So that's how easy it is for you to secure your spot. So just a minute. So once you click on that, click on proceed, right? You're fine with that, click on proceed, then type your name, email address, and phone number. Once you've done that, please feel free to, you'd receive a prompt asking you to fill your card details. Fill your card details and your payment is successful. You paid your first installment. Then you will see you're redirected to this form. It is very simple and easy form to fill. Just fill it with your bio data, name, email address, phone number, country of residence, etc. Click on next. Then which program are you enrolling for? Select the program you paid for. Upload your payment receipt. It is always sent to your email address. Then type the name on the account you used in paying, and then read the terms and condition, right? And then click on yes, you've read it. How you found out about Amdari, also select it. And then select the duration, which is 4 months by default. So when do you intend to start? 10th of January, because I mean, it's best to start the year strong, right? So what influenced your decision, also type it. And then which of our sessions influenced your decision to subscribe? So by virtue of being on this call today, just select the Saturday info session as the session that influenced your decision and click on submit. Your enrollment is successful, and that's just how easy it is to secure your spot, right? So thank you all so much for your patience on the call. I am going to take questions right now. So for anybody who will be enrolling on the call today, please feel free to fill that form, because that's how we get to send you your internship confirmation letter and every detail around that. So somebody said, okay, Bisola says after the internship, will a certificate be issued? No, it is going to be a reference letter that you get. Reference is what you need, not certificate at this point, right? Reference because you want to get a job. Certificate is not what they prioritize. Reference, proof of work, and all that. So this is an internship, not a training program. So you get a reference. Please, can we have a recorded video of those joining late because of work? Yes, this session is recorded. Please fill the attendance form. My colleague will drop the link again. She will send the attendance form to you, so you can fill it and have access to this particular video. All right. So I'll take questions in about a minute. Let me just see if there's a question for me aside from Bisola. So Bisola, I hope that answers your question. Okay, Adeni has made part payment. Okay. So if you want to make the balance payment, you can still use the same link. You can still use the same link, Adeni. You can still use the same link, definitely. So yeah. So Elizabeth, you access Jira the minute you start the internship. It's something that you will get access to with your team lead when you guys are conversing about work and everything like that. So yeah. Okay, Oluwaseyi, that's fine. If you want to pay maybe towards the end of the week, that's okay. You said you've already sent a message to Jennifer. How much knowledge of the role do you need to have to excel in the internship? And someone with zero knowledge of the role do well in the internship? So by zero knowledge, do you mean you've not taken a course at all? Because if you have some basic knowledge, let me show you something. We have crash courses for you right here. So let's come here. You can see learn right here. Learn simply means crash courses. So every intern in the program has access to the crash courses. So if you have just basic knowledge, you can take these crash courses, and you don't pay for the crash courses. They are beginner-friendly courses. It is perfectly suited for you, whether you're beginner, intermediate, because it is designed for refresher. Because maybe you've taken a course a year ago and you didn't practice, so you're forgetting some things. You can take the courses. Don't panic if you're only seeing data. No, this is it: data science, data analytics, and you can see project management. You can see business analysis. Let me click on business analysis, for example. You see the courses we have. You can see business analysis fundamentals. You can see business case and software development. Sorry, I clicked on that. You can see requirement lifecycle. You can see product lifecycle. These are courses that you can take without paying a dime. And all these courses, they come with certificates. The actual internship is what does not come with certificate, right? I can't see the account details to make payments. Emmanuel, I dropped the link. This is the link. Did you see how I walked us through it? My colleague also just dropped it. So you just click on the link and follow the step I took so you can secure your spot. You can pay the first installment. Just select the program you want to pay for. Click on secure internship there. You see the breakdown. Do you want to pay once, twice, or 3 times? If you want to pay 3 times, select that 3 installments. You see the part where it shows you that you can pay £103. Click on proceed, fill your card details, click on proceed. Your payment is successful, and that is all. Let me know if you have any issues with that, Emmanuel, so I can walk you through it again. Okay, let me show you in Naira. Just a minute. Let's come back here. Let me show you in Naira. So I'll take questions of people raising their hand right now. So please, like I said, we're closing the slot once we hit 5 people, but because of the message that I see you sent, so can you see it now? Oluwaseyi, so Jennifer is going to note that down. So that means we have 4 extra slots. So please, if you want to secure your spot, now is the perfect time. So this is it. It's 666,000 Naira. So if you want to pay in 3 installments, you get to pay 222,000 3 times. So this is the breakdown for that payment, Bisola. Okay, Irene, your hand has been raised. Do you have any question for me? Please, if you have any question for me, indicate by raising your hand. Once I am done attending to Irene, I will take other people's question also. Please, for those that are enrolling already, do not forget to fill the enrollment form. Just like I showed us, when you fill the enrollment form, we are able to send you your internship confirmation letter by the first week of January. We send you your job description and the link to the crash course, the link to portfolio, because you get to build a free portfolio website that you can use to show proof of the work you've done also. You don't need to pay a developer to build a website for you to have your portfolio. You don't need to use GitHub. In fact, you can embed your GitHub right here, right? So I'll take questions right now. So Irene, I see your hand is raised. So please, can you go on and ask your question? And please, if you all did not fill the attendance form, please, Harry, no student discount, sorry, no student discount. The next cohort, Aisha, is in February. Yeah, it's in February. Irene, do you have any question for me? I think Irene dropped her hand. Are we so clear? We don't have questions. Are we tired? Any questions for me? Okay. We're going to drop the attendance link again, Akiola. So Jennifer, please drop the attendance link. So while we just type in our questions, please, if you have any question for me, let me get to speak to 1 or 2 people, right? Yeah, the sponsorship link, Khalid, it's going to be sent to your email. So if you fill the form already, which my colleague just dropped now, right, you will get it. Okay, Omar says, how many days in a week is the internship? It's Mondays to Fridays, but it is flexible. You are expected to commit at least 1 hour per day to the program, a minimum of 1 hour per day to the program. So you don't need to, just commit a minimum of 1 hour per day to the program, and that will do it. Yeah, so, but if you can do more than 1 hour, perfect. Now, Mondays to Fridays, you show up, sure, right? But twice in that week, you have meeting, like stand-up meeting with your team, just like you do in any tech team and likes, or a remote team, right? So you have stand-up meeting. where you guys discuss the task at hand, what you guys are working on, what you're struggling with, right? Blockers, challenges, issues, etc. Your team lead is on every other call. It's twice in a week. That's twice in a week. The day and the time is not imposed on you by Amdari or your team lead. You're the ones that will pick the day and the time that works for you. All Mondays and Fridays, all Tuesdays and Thursdays. If that's the day that works for you, perfect. You can show up on those days, right? So that's exactly how that works. But if what you want is, okay, I missed some sessions, how do I catch up? You get to catch up, right? Let me show you something. So when you come to internship right here, so there is no session you miss that there is no recording of that session. So come to my resources. This is your internship dashboard. You can see that from your dashboard. Oh, I picked February cohorts. February is still in the future, so we've not started anything. Let me pick 2025 October. Yeah. So let me pick data analytics. Okay, so if you check my screen right here, you'd see that you can easily request for reference letter from your dashboard. You can have interview prep request also. Maybe you have an interview coming up and you need a one-on-one interview prep. Sure, you'd have it. If you have complaints or issues, you can also report that, right? So now look at the resource page. Drop-in sessions at the stand-up meetings. If you miss any stand-up meeting, you can see what's recording, right? If you missed any mentorship session, you can also see job strategy clinic, mock interview prep, mentorship and testimonial session. You scroll down, job application session. Remember I said that while like your accountability partner, we make sure you apply to jobs on a particular call. So you can see all the sessions. So in case you missed it, this is a recording. Even if you didn't miss it, you just want to revisit it later. You can see peer-to-peer mentoring, negotiating job offers and salaries, mock interview session with live feedback. You can watch the recording of all of the sessions. If it comes to employability, again, these resources are here in case you missed it or you want to revisit it. Whatever the case, you cannot miss a session at Amdari because there is always a replay. And you still want to have a conversation with your team lead, you can easily call them on WhatsApp. They are in all your groups, so they are accessible. So you can see CV optimization resources, Amdari CV revamp session, etc. So any session you miss can still easily have access to them. So I hope that answers your question. Since nobody's raising their hand to ask me a question, I'll keep reading the questions in the chat. Did you mean 12 a.m. in less than an hour, and I have not been receiving mail because this is not my first session attending you? Okay, so maybe check your spam folder, Bisola, or Jennifer, please be sure that this email goes out to everybody. All right, be sure that everybody on the call gets the email. Please import everybody's detail to the CRM and make sure that everybody gets this email. All right, so Bisola, we will definitely take care of that. So 12 a.m. in less than, not 12 a.m. in less than 1 hour, 12 a.m. tomorrow, not the one. Okay, yeah, you get the point, right, Bisola? 12 a.m. Monday morning, right? Like Monday morning, 12 a.m. That's what I mean. So Gideon says, all we've heard are success stories. What can you say about people who have not been able to acquire a position after the internship period? Yes, so sure, we focus on success stories because that's the result that everybody aims for. Now, do we have people that have not gotten jobs? Definitely. That was why I mentioned something earlier, that most times people would ask me, what is the success rate of this program, right? I would say 20%. Now, the remaining percent that has not gotten a job is based on different factors. I promise you, we have people that would say, oh, I want to focus on the internship for now. I'll apply to jobs later. Oh, I'm doing my master's right now. I just want to gain the experience. I'll apply later. Then we have people like, oh, I've been busy with my job. I don't apply as often as I should, right? So the success is tied to how much effort you put into applying to jobs. You're gaining the experience, but no recruiter will automatically know that you can do the job if you're not positioning. You don't post on LinkedIn and you're not applying to as many jobs as possible. You can't apply to 1, 2, 3 jobs in few weeks and expect results. And if you're only applying through job boards, you're also not doing it the right way. getting a job and applying to jobs is a full-time job. So you have your own part to play. And that was why I said earlier, Amdari gives you that 99% chance to get the job. There are factors we cannot control. When we realize that a lot of our interns don't apply to jobs, we decided to have a job application sprint, which I just showed you here. It is to make sure that people show up and apply to jobs. You'll be surprised right here. Look at job strategy clinic. And when you scroll down, I think I scrolled too much. Sorry. Mock interview and job. Where is that job? Okay, yeah. Job application session, right? So we make sure that we have this print with you. So you apply to jobs, because this is another thing that blocks people from getting jobs. You don't apply. How do you get the job? Now, another thing is how you apply also. If you're using job board strategy alone, then you might not be able to get a job fast. You need to shoot your shot. I got my first job in tech by sending a DM to a recruiter. They didn't have a job posting. They were not hiring, I promise you. And that was why I showed us that screenshot, right? These are all the things that we discussed with you right here. Peer-to-peer mentoring. Can you see this? Negotiating job offers and salaries. These are the different, because we know for you to get a job, it's not by applying through job boards alone. So we don't give you one strategy. It's not like a straightforward approach. But if after all is said and done, you still go back and you're not taking action, Amdari has done its part. So it is those people that now do all of this and adopt all this, I promise you, they get the job. So when I say that we have people that get jobs and people that don't get jobs, these are the different factors that contribute to it. But we provide you with the support. Yes, look at your dashboard. You can easily request. It's easy. And you can call your team lead. Like I said earlier, your team leads are here full-time. Your mentors are here full-time. We didn't put a post out and say we are looking for mentors. No. Amdari is not looking for volunteer mentors. Amdari hired these people full-time to work with you. So your success in this program is tied to their own KPI. So do you think they will not be invested in making sure that you succeed in this, right? But that's why, again, we decided to go about it. Okay, what are the factors we can influence? Let's make sure that we do everything so that this is successful. The success of this program for us is not saying that, oh, Gideon joined, Akinola joined. It is to say Gideon and Akinola joined and they got jobs at the end of the day, right? But then there are factors we cannot control, but for what we can control and influence, trust me, you have Amdari on that 100%, right? So I hope that answers your question, Gideon. Again, okay, thank you. Nobody is raising their hand, so I might not be able to take everybody's question. So we'll be wrapping up shortly. I'll take MM's question here. I think Akinola also has a question. But if you want to still speak to us, right, we have clarity session 8 p.m. My colleague and I would be on that call. 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Monday and Tuesday, right? By the time we resume in January, it will be Mondays to Fridays. But right now, because it's holiday period, so we're doing it Monday and Tuesday. So if you would like to speak to us, maybe your question was not answered on this call, we can definitely do that. You can still enroll and still ask your question on Monday or on Tuesday. So my colleague, Amdari Growth, just dropped the link. It is the clarity link for you to book and speak to us on the call, right? It's not as big as this because we would break out into rooms so we can attend to people faster. So for those that have enrolled, please, like I said, do not forget to fill the attendance form. Thank you, Sheyi, and welcome on board. I see your enrollment. Welcome on board, Cynthia. So you fill the form. That's why I can see your enrollment also. So please, for anyone that is yet to fill the form, if you have enrolled, use the link we've been dropping and secure your spot. Okay, we have few more slots, and it's between now and tomorrow midnight. I know the way I'm saying tomorrow midnight sounds like Bisola said, is it in the next hour? No, not in the next hour, in the next 24 hours, right? Or 25 hours, because it's about 25 or 26 hours. But you get the point, right? So please feel free to secure your spot and fill the enrollment form once you do that. So like I said, I will just read the other questions that I have in the chat and we will call it a close for today. Seems everybody's just so exhausted, nobody wants to talk. So please book that session with us if you still want to talk to us. Even if after you've paid, you still just want to like ask questions, you can either ask Jennifer, she has dropped her phone number, or you can book that clarity session with us. Either way, your questions will be answered. So someone says, can I also have the last session we had before now. It was so impactful, many things. Okay, thank you so much, Akinola. That was the session we had last week. The recording is on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page and just search for, I'm trying to remember the topic. I think it's about Signal, but Jennifer is going to drop it in your community, and she would attach the link to that last week's session to the email that will be going out tomorrow, just so that you get it. So Jennifer, please give me a thumbs up if you got that. Okay, thank you. So she would attach it just for the sake of people that would want to watch it. And just like Akinola said, it was impactful. So I would advise and recommend that you also watch it in case you didn't join us last week, honestly. Okay, MM says, at what point do we get the LinkedIn revamp? Week 5, MM. By week 5, because you worked on 2 projects at that point. Each project takes 2 to 3 weeks execution period. So by week 5, you worked on 2 projects, right? So that's good enough to have your CV revamped and LinkedIn optimized. And week 6, you are encouraged to start applying to jobs. That's why our interns also land jobs that early, 1 month in, 2 months in, 3 months in, or 4 months in. Something I forgot to tell Gideon when he asked me a question. I knew that there was something I wanted to say, but honestly, by the time I was done addressing the most important part of his question, I had forgotten. So Gideon and every other person on this call, when you take this internship, and even though you didn't get a job before you complete it, do you still have access to us? Yes. Do you have to pay? No. Do you have your CV revamped? Yes. Do you have, excuse me, please. Excuse me. All right. I don't know where that quote just came from all of a sudden. Yeah, I'll drink water. I've been speaking and speaking and speaking, and I think that's why my eyes are even red. Thank you very much, Bisola. Okay, so as I was saying, right? So even after the program, Gideon and everyone, you will still have access to us. Oh, I have an interview coming up. I interned with you guys January to April. I was onboarded in May. And this is September 2026. Or I don't wish anybody stays that long, by the way. I'm just using it as an example. This is September 2026. I need an interview prep. We won't charge you a dime. You can get reference at any time, even 2 years down the line. No charges at all. Anything regarding this internship stops at this £310 you're paying. No hidden charges, nothing. I know that Elizabeth was asking about tools earlier. Once you join your internship, every tool you have to use, you will clearly have access to it. Your team lead is going to guide you, so you don't have to worry about anything, right? This £310 you're paying in 3 installments is the only amount you're paying. Even the crash courses on our website is free. No hidden charges. You come back 6 months after your internship. Oh, I need interview prep. We would give you the interview prep. Oh, I need reference. We would give you the reference. So that's something I forgot to mention. So yeah. Okay, can I get the recording of this meeting? I want to send to a friend. Sure, Gideon, we're going to send it to your email. Please, Jennifer, make sure it goes to everybody's email. And we would also drop the link in your communities, right? Just in case you don't see it. But regardless, please check your spam folder. It most likely goes there sometimes. I don't know why that happens, but sometimes that happens. But like I said, you're getting this email by tomorrow. So by noon, just please check your email. You would have received an email from us, and we'll still drop messages in your communities. The same community where you got the link to join the session. Yes, you'll still get the link and everything. If you have questions, I mean, every community, Jennifer is there, but Jennifer has dropped her number. Please feel free to call Jennifer and speak to her, right? We're more than happy to attend to you. If you have further questions, again, like I said, please feel free to reach out to us and ask. And for everybody else who is planning to enroll tonight, we look forward to having you secure your internship spot. And thank you all so much for your patience on the call today. It's been amazing. So, Alex, it's not only to the UK market, it is for the UK, US, Canada, and Nigeria. And even people in Ghana join us, people in Kenya also join, right? So I just talk more about UK because 98% right now join from the UK. but we're trying to open our doors more to other people from other regions. So your time zone will be different for the internship. Right now, we work with your time zone regardless, we make it work, but we're trying to structure it in a way that is convenient for the Amdari mentors. So we're hiring and getting mentors specifically for those joining from Canada and the US so that they can also, yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, that it's not targeted to the job market in the UK. They don't know. Hold on, Alex, let me show you something. Hold on. So I don't know how, I was surprised that I didn't have it in my slide, but just hold on. Let me show you something real quick. I really thought I added it to this slide. So it's just for you to know that it is not targeted just to people in the UK. Yeah. So let me open something up for you so you can see that it cuts across. Just a minute. It's opening. It's opening. I'm still with you, please. I just want to show you something real quick. Yeah, here we are. So let me share my screen now. So this was supposed to be my slide. I honestly didn't know that I wasn't there. So this is one of our team leads at Amdari, one of the mentors that works with our interns. Her name is Jennifer. It's still coming up, I think. Yeah, it's still coming up. Again, not the Jennifer on this call. I don't know. Amdari likes Jennifer, so we have a lot of Jennifer on the team. So this is Jennifer, one of the team leads for data analytics, right? So Jennifer is one of the team leads for data analytics. One of the team leads because we have 15 mentors for the data team alone, right? That's how robust and that's how much mentors we work with. And that was why I said these mentors are not volunteers. They are here full time to work with you. And whether your work is shift job or I'm not available, there's no way, there's no how busy you are. Our schedule is going to fit because of how we designed it. So look at this right now. This is specifically for Alex, right? You say, so this person says, okay, context, backstory. Her interns joined in August. They joined the August cohort, the same way you all are planning to join the January cohort, right? The same way Sheyi has paid for January cohort on this call, and also Cynthia paid for January cohort on this call, right? That's the same way some of these people, or rather these people paid for August cohort 2025. So they were onboarded in November, that was last month. These were their party message. And let me just come straight to this one first. Thank you, Amdari. I truly cherish every moment here. Within my first month of joining, I was fortunate to land my first data analytics role with a US-based fintech company. She said, and I quote again, my first data analytics role within the first month. So when most people ask us like, oh, maybe they've worked as that before, because is it possible to get a job in 4 months? This is 1 month. And this lady is not the first person, I promise you. And this is just to also show you that it is not tailored to the UK market alone. The same way our guys are getting jobs in the UK, that's the same way they are getting jobs in the US. That's the same way they are getting jobs in Canada. And you can see it right here. So this was her sharing this when she was leaving. And she says, a special thanks to Jennifer for all your support and effort. Goodbye, everyone. She still stayed till the end of the internship. Even though she got a job 1 month in, she paid in 3 installments. She could have said, I've gotten the job, I've only paid for 1 installment. Do I really need to? Do you get my point? But she still wrapped up the program because at the end of the day, we just need to be lifelong learners. We just need to embrace anything that makes us better. And why stop at 2 projects when she can have 3 more or 6 or 4 more, right? To make it 6. So she did all of that. So learning does not stop because you've gotten what you want. You need to continuously improve yourself. That's how you remain valuable where you work. That's how you don't become irrelevant, right? That's how you get promoted. That's how you advance. I believe nobody wants to be stagnant. I believe everybody wants increase in pay, increase or better promotion, and all of that. So this lady is a perfect representation of that. And it also tells you the quality of program they get or the quality of experience they get at Amdari. So Alex, yes, it's not, or rather no, it's not restricted to the UK job market. Our people get jobs across different locations. Thank you very much, Alex. You have been mentioning data analytics. I hope there is for cybersecurity. Oh my God. Oh my God. Henry, or rather Harry, I showed us somebody that got a visa sponsorship job in under SOC, cybersecurity. This person got the job. Let me stop sharing. Sorry, not stop sharing now. This person got the job. Let me scroll. Yeah. This person got a visa sponsorship job this is December. Sorry, I don't know why I'm calling it. Take a look at this, right? I've mentioned every career path on this call today. I've mentioned every career path, somebody has gotten a job, and I've shown us all of this. This is Pedro SOC, right? SOC is Security Operations Center. He got a job as that, and you see here he says comes with visa sponsorship. And I showed us another intern, Sandra, that got GRC role, and I mentioned that it was a data protection role, but because of her knowledge in GRC, and that company had never heard of that role before, they were excited about it. So her broadened horizon, her exposed, knowledge was what helped her also stand out, right? So she could say more beyond just that. And they were like, oh, okay, great. So she was like a perfect fit for them. So I mentioned GRC, right? Harry, I mentioned SOC, and this is one person that even got business sponsorship. So I've mentioned project management, mentioned business analysis on this call, right? And people have gotten jobs across all. And I mentioned the fact that specialists work with you on these fields, right? Not random generalists, no. So if you're coming in under cybersecurity, Harry, it's either you're coming in as SOC analyst, GRC, or pen tester. If you come in as any of these, the person you're working with is a specialist in that field, not a cybersecurity generalist or anything like that. Does that answer your question, Harry? Hello, Harry. I believe you're typing. But this is the first time I'm speaking to an audience that did not speak at all. I'm wondering why. Are we that tired? Are we that exhausted? But yeah, so like I said, if you have any further questions so that I can, allow you all go rest. You guys have been on this call with me for 2 hours, 30 minutes. That I appreciate. I do not take that for granted. For those that have enrolled, welcome on board. I promise you, you've made the best decision for your career come 2026. I wanted to say 2023. You've made the best decision for your career, and you're going to be glad that you took this step with us, because we've heard it time and time again. Oh, I didn't want to start this, but I just took that leap of faith and it turned out great, right? And the more people we are also able to impact and help get their dream job in tech, the more fulfilled we are. Gideon, that discount is further. In fact, you should have closed long time ago. But like I said, there are no hidden charges. Everything, there is so much you're getting: the revamp CV, the optimized LinkedIn, the interview prep every day and every Thursday, and the fact that you can get it every time. Cloud security, not yet, and it's not a course. It's actually internship, Harry. It's actually internship. So yeah, but like I said, right, Gideon, you also get to pay in installments, right? You also get to pay in installments, which is perfect. You split it across 3 payments. And it's easy like that. So we look forward to having you start with us. Please secure your spot before the next 24 hours so that you can be rest assured that, yes, you took advantage of the discount and that's what you're paying with. And start 2026 strong. 2026 is not sitting well in my head yet. I don't know. Feels like, I don't know. But yeah, thank you all so much for your time on the call today. Do I get my CV run from first week as well, especially if I want to start applying? Yep, you can get that immediately if that's what you want. You have a conversation with the employability specialist. That has to be a one-on-one thing, right? You have a conversation with her, and you have your CV revamped, and they will guide you as it relates to the application. The person guiding you is not just your team lead; it is your team lead and your employability specialist, both of them, so that they can properly fill the gap of technical answers and also cultural fits, or culture fit rather, HR wise. So you have that perfect blend. So that's why it's 2 of them and then you, the candidate. So they will prep you properly. Do I need to be enrolled as an intern to access the website? Yes, Cynthia. The minute you're enrolled, if you want to take those crash courses, you can grant you access. I granted a couple of people access last week on the call like this when they made payment. And yeah. So Bisola, happy new year in advance. Yeah, you must stick. And I think you said you've joined a couple of our sessions. Bisola, you are yet to enroll. You're wasting time, Bisola. You should enroll already so you can take it to the next step. You can, move to the next level. So for those who are still planning to enroll, in case you missed the link, my colleague just dropped it now, but I just dropped it again. I'm starting in February in case I have an interview in January. Can I get help prepping? 100%. All you have to do, you have our contact, but you need to be enrolled, Gideon. Even if you're starting in January, you can use this discount. Sorry, even if you're starting in February, you can still use this discount, right? And start. I have made part payment. Please, how do I access website? Okay, great. I'll grant you access this night. Just create account on the website. I'm typing the website address, www.amdari.io. Please create your account in the next 10 minutes after this session, right? You would be able to access your dashboard. Okay, Gideon, perfect. Welcome on board. So for those that have enrolled already, so Gideon, hope you fill the enrollment form. If you are yet to fill the enrollment form, please ensure you fill it, right? Once you fill the enrollment form, it's easy for us to do that. So Cynthia, please create accounts on the website. Once you create accounts on the website, we would grant you access. I will grant you access immediately after this session. So just check 10 minutes later, right? If you have any other questions, need clarity, please call Jennifer. You haven't received an enrollment form. Oh, you were supposed to automatically get redirected, but don't worry. Let me send the link to you. So just fill this form, Gideon. Since you paid, you can just fill this form. Please, so this form I'm dropping is only for Gideon as paid. Of course, I see Cynthia already on the dashboard and Shay. So this one is for Gideon that is confirming on this call that he has paid. So Gideon, please fill it and upload your payment receipt, right? And we will see it. So if anybody has a question, please feel free to reach out to Jennifer on the call, on the phone number that she has dropped via WhatsApp. We're more than happy to take your questions. Thank you all so much for your time on the call today. Gideon, thank you very much. Everybody that asked me a question, thank you. I didn't hear from, okay, I heard from Ragabi. I didn't hear from Adesola. I didn't hear from Tolu, Victoria, my namesake. I have two namesakes on the call today. I didn't hear from Ekundayo. I don't know why Ekundayo didn't speak. I didn't hear from, okay, I heard from Akiola at some point. I heard from Alex. I heard from Emmanuel. He typed in the comment. Bamigoye, I did not hear from you. Bankole, I did not hear from you. Charles, I didn't hear from you. I paid. Oh, okay, great. To welcome on board. Please, you all ensure you fill the enrollment form. If you didn't receive it, I dropped it for Gideon. You can also use it, please. I dropped it and I'll drop it now again. I'll drop it now again. Thank you, Luashe. Yeah, and Jennifer, thank you. So yes, please. This is the enrollment form to me in case you didn't feel that. But yeah, for every other person, I just dropped it in case you make payments. Feel free to fill it. Thank you all so much for your time on the call today. It's been worth my while. I hope it was worth your while also. And we look forward to seeing you on the other side come January 10th, yes, which is your onboarding. The day you meet your teammates and your team lead. I forgot to mention that. How do I reach out if I need to discuss more? Bamigoye, please reach out to Shay typed, and I was going to say reach out to Shay. Please don't reach out to Shay. Reach out to Jennifer. Reach out to Jennifer. Thank you, Luashe. She just dropped her number right now again. Reach out to her, and if you have further questions, she will send you the clarity link. We've already dropped the clarity link, but you might have missed it. But just reach out to Jennifer. Save her number, call her on WhatsApp, or text her on WhatsApp. Anyone is fine. For every other person also, please, you can reach out to Jennifer. So Jennifer, it's like you'll be receiving a lot of messages for, yeah. So in case they need to speak to us for that, they will just book clarity. But thank you all so much. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy New Year in advance. Have a fulfilled, prosperous, and amazing 2026. I hope a lot of you on this call will say they joined the last session of 2025 and they got a job in 2026. Thank you,
Thank you so
Akion.
much, Omo.
Thank you.
Enjoy the
Finally,
rest of
I
your
heard
evening.
somebody's voice. Finally.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So tell Jennifer I'll be expecting a response on my chat.
Yeah, Jennifer, please respond to Luashi.
Thank you
She
very
will
much.
respond,
Thank
don't
you.
worry. It's because we're on the call. So Cynthia, I hope you've
So
created
I've
your
got
account.
I'm hoping I'll get 2 business analyst invites for interview.
You're hoping to get what?
Invited for interview for 2 BA roles.
Okay. By God's grace. By God's grace. We're rooting
I'll
for
reach
you.
out to you guys as soon as I have that opportunity,
That's
please.
fine.
I
That's
had one last week or thereabout, but I wish I had known about it before that interview.
no
My
problem
God,
at all. That's
say why
fine. You
we
can
comes out.
definitely reach out to us. Even if you're starting in February, it doesn't matter. As long
No,
as you're in.
starting January.
Yeah, okay, that's even perfect. That's perfect.
If you
So
ask me to
just
start tomorrow, I'll start tomorrow.
we're starting 10th of
Thank you.
January.
Thank
So
you.
enjoy your holiday for now. So when we come back in
Thank you very
January,
much.
we can go full throttle. Yeah.
Meanwhile, can a 16-year-old boy join this program? Is it allowed?
Yeah.
A 16-year-old boy, can he join?
15. Oh my God.
16, 16.
16. Okay, 16. They can. Have they taken the course already? If they've taken the course, they can.
No, not yet.
Okay, they need to take the
Okay,
course.
that's all right.
Okay.
Let me not delay you. Let me let you have your evening back. Thank you so much. Let me run out.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Rashid.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody. So Cynthia, I've seen your message. You created an account as Cynthia Ogbe, right? So I'll just grant you the access. I know you type in, so I'll wait for you to type. But while she's typing, thank you all so much for your time on the call. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy New Year in advance. Don't forget, feel free to reach out to us by either contacting Jennifer or booking clarity via the link we dropped, and we look forward to speaking to you. If you've enrolled, please fill the enrollment form. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.